Org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors, LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC. Annuity and insurance products offered through AXA Network, LLC.
Be fearless at MMA Long Island and Seituha Karate. Located at 28 Colt Court in Ronkonkoma, MMA Long Island is the martial arts school for you if you want to learn combat-proven techniques, build confidence, discipline, and self-esteem while learning real martial arts to fight back against bullies, predators, and peer pressure. MMA Long Island offers group and private lessons for all ages and levels in traditional Goju-Ryu Karate, MMA, and self-defense. MMA Long Island is one of Long Island's most affordable martial arts schools. There are no promotion, belt, or membership fees, and family discounts are available. All classes are taught by 7th degree black belt Sensei John Benedict with over 30 years teaching experience. So whether you want to get in the ring or protect yourself and your family, MMA Long Island can help you reach your goals. Visit MMALongIsland.com. That's MMALongIsland.com or call or text 516-381-9660. That's 516-381-9660.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 16 years with insurance solutions for auto, home, commercial, life, and retirement. He's located at 54 Sunnyside Boulevard, Suite H in Plainview. That's just 1,000 feet south of 495. Local agent, local advice. The time to think about insurance is before you need it. So do yourself a favor and before you pay your next insurance bill, give Ed and his team a call, 516-935-3900, or visit him online at www.allstate.com/EL. Edward H. Lehman Insurance is your trusted insurance advisor.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind, like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama, like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom when you drive her back from therapy.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing, and in your new role, we help you help. AARP gives you the information to help care for your mom so that you can have patience with her, just like she did with you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving or call 1-877-333-5885 to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one.
Are we there yet?
Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP, We help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Number 70!
We're talking about practice.
Hello, you play to win the game.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
3, 2, 1, happy 2000!
No time on the clock, and the Patriots have won Super Bowl 36. Short open, Chicago with the lead.
Worldwide Sports Radio Network presents Below the Mic.
Hello, everybody. This is Below the Mic. We are live every single, well, it's usually Thursdays. It is Wednesdays, as you guys know, at 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. at night. As you guys know, you can call us at 631-965-4990. You can go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Download our app, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already. I keep telling everybody to download the app. All you have to do to download the app is one thing. On iOS, which is Apple, you go to the search store, the application store, you put in WWSRN, or you can go to Android, Worldwide Sports Radio Network, which is the Play Store. Download our app, all our stories. You can listen to our shows live. You can watch our shows live. You can listen to the replays in our podcast area. You can watch the clips of all our different shows, including the Weekend Crunch every single Saturday with me and Eric Coleman and Speedy, of course, sitting right next to me. Speedy, what's going on, man?
I've been here all day. So
you've been here all day making mistakes like you usually do, Speedy.
All right. Well, it's a new experiment. We'll see.
Oh, it's a new experiment. Everything with you is a new experiment. That's for sure. Actually, you're slowly but surely not bedwetting anymore, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, I stopped. Luckily, I was able to stop that a while ago.
Well, that's a good thing. Anyways, as you guys know, we do this on this show every single Wednesdays, and we call this, Speedy,
Sports and Entertainment News.
All right, here we go. Jimmy Butler, or may I say Jimmy Buckets in Eric Coleman's words.
Yep.
The incredible rise of stardom in the NBA. Well, Jimmy Butler, if you know, this story is pretty interesting because Jimmy Butler came from the Chicago Bulls, which is Tom Thibodeau. Everybody talking about Tom Thibodeau not helping and restarting or helping young players grow as young players. Well, Jimmy Buckets was one of those guys that he built. Him, Rose, Joakim Noah, all the different people that we've seen, all the young players. Well, anyways, this story talks about his growth, and not only as a player from going from one team to another team to another team. He's played on 4 teams in practically 2 years. It's an incredible story. Now he's taking the Miami Heat to the Eastern Conference Championship in his first year as a Heat. So it's an interesting story. Sabres acquire Eric Staal from the Wild for Marcus Johansson. That was a pretty good trade, Speedy.
That's an interesting one. Eric Staal still going strong with Minnesota, but it's interesting why they would trade him. I guess it was for the contract.
The NCAA schedules return date for college basketball season on November 25th. That is good news, ladies and gentlemen, because I couldn't live with another year without college basketball, including March Madness, which we can, for the first time ever in March Madness history, we did not watch or did not see a March Madness. So
we were robbed of such a great year. It would have been too. Such a great tournament.
NFL rumors: Sean McVay piped in crowd noise, irritating. Now, obviously, Sean McVay doesn't like this fake noise out in the audience with the crowds. He says it's distracting his team play. Moving forward this season, he doesn't want it, but the team and the ownership has come out and said that they're going to continuously keep doing it.
Would you rather have half the crowd rooting for the road team like they usually does in LA Coliseum?
I have no idea what he's saying, but whatever. Ezekiel Elliott says, Mom is coming around to feed me stomach tattoos. What the hell does this mean? When Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott juked his way into the end zone during the last week's Sunday night football matchup against the Los Angeles Rams, he sent shockwaves around the league. No, he did not dance or use the pylon. Well, he was showing his tattoos. How wonderful. Why are we not surprised, ladies and gentlemen? Panthers' Matt Rule details game plan to pressure Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I don't know if you're going to be able to really stress Tom Brady or the Buccaneers, but we all know that Carolina is going to do everything they can to knock off the Buccaneers, which I think is highly overrated this year. You saw it in week number 1 against the Saints.
Well, that's the Saints. They're probably the best team in the NFC, though.
Well, that doesn't matter. Whatever you do with your little laughing and your gaffing. Super Bowl promotes manscaping in new ad featuring Rob Gronkowski. Well, I don't even want to talk about it. Bruce Arians responds to concerns about Tom Brady's relationships. Well, listen, Bruce Arians is not going to have the relationship that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady had. I mean, that was almost 20 years of football. Now, this is a new team, new offense, and Tom Brady likes to do things his way. So I think they're going to have problems moving forward if they start losing significantly and consistently. NBA rumors. Kings hiring Monte McNair as head of basketball operations. Speedy?
Don't know who that is, so that doesn't help me.
Well, here's the thing. I'm reading the different stories about this guy. He comes in, first of all, he comes from the Minnesota Timberwolves organization as an executive vice president of basketball operations. So I wouldn't have hired somebody from the Timberwolves because there's not a huge success rate over there. Yeah. So I have no idea why they did it. Bradley Beal shows his class and maturity after all NBA snub. Well, Bradley Beal, he spoke and he said everybody that was picked, it was well-deserved, and he believes that even though he believes he should be there, he's happy that all the players that were picked are there, and hopefully moving forward, he will be there next year on another team, probably the Brooklyn Nets. Does interest in Mike D'Antoni signal blockbuster trade for 76ers? No.
If the 76ers hire Mike D'Antoni, they might be just...
They're going to.
They might become in the top 10 most dysfunctional franchises in the NBA.
LeBron James breaks record 16th All-NBA selection. Well, LeBron James has been a dominant player for many, many years. He's been in the league for 16 years. He's been a fantastic player in the NBA, one of the greatest basketball players ever. He's going to break records because LeBron James plays in a time where it's become an offensive league, not a defensive league. So you're going to see him break practically every single offensive record by the time he's done. And Nuggets Jamal Murray shares honest take on stress in bubble. Well, he speaks about the bubble and how it's affected him and his family not being there. But it's pretty impressive when you look at the Nuggets going and knocking off a team like the LA Clippers, where they were up 3-1 in that series. Mm-hmm. And again, the Nuggets were down 3-1, just like they were against Utah, and came all the way back, won 3 games in a row. It's an incredible situation. I'm rooting for the Nuggets. I want to see the Nuggets win a championship.
When we had their broadcaster on, Chris Marlowe, he was saying he was going to be a great young point guard, but when was he going to make the rise into that top point guard? And this is a rise that that shows him he's at that next level now. That was phenomenal what he was able to put together. And even against Utah, too, the same kind of thing. They came back down 3-1, and he was the biggest part of it.
And MLB news, the Dodgers become the first team to clinch a playoff spot. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. And the last but not least, the Yankees starting rotation will look a lot different in 2020. Absolutely. We don't know if Masahiro Tanaka's coming back. We don't know if James Paxton's going to come back. We don't know if the Yankees will want to bring them back. And with Jordan Montgomery and Garcia and some of the young pitchers that they're trying to develop right now, I think the Yankees are going to start to sway that way, with Gary Cole leading the way because they paid him 8 years, $326 million. Yep. So he will be leading the way in the future. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the week in sports entertainment. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
76 was high, Dan. Sorry, I still can't believe that's an actual rumor.
Speaking of basketball, I want to get into this story because there's a story coming out right now that the New York Knicks are looking heavily to make a trade with OKC for Chris Paul. Now, we were talking about this before the playoffs even started, before the season even came back, that we all know that Rose was Chris Paul's agent over the last couple of years. And we all also know that Rose is going to try to bring in his own guys to help develop and bring some of these players to the top of their games. Now, RJ Barrett, I do not believe, even though we've been hearing stories about Joel Embiid, unless that story might come true, if they decide to bring Chris Paul in here, maybe bring in Joel Embiid, and then now you have your top 2 players and you can build around them. But then you have to trade RJ Barrett. You're hearing Mitchell Robinson and the 8th pick in this year's draft, where they have a significant amount of draft stock in the next couple of years. But do you think that bringing in Chris Paul and Joel Embiid is going to win you a championship in the East? Is it better than the Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? Right now, if you put that on paper, that would be a no.
Yeah.
I think that Joel Embiid is one of the top 3 big men in the NBA, but is injury prone, and Chris Paul is still one of the top point guards in the NBA. I would say top 5, top 6. The only problem with that is Chris Paul is 36 years old. He's an old man. How many years do you think you're going to get out of that contract, which is still about 3 years left on that contract? If you can get 2 out of the 3, you're getting a lot. Yeah. I don't know if you're going to win a championship next year bringing in Chris Paul. So I don't know about this.
Yeah,
don't.
What he did with the Thunder last year was unheard of. But can you expect him to do it again with another young team? And even if he does it once again, will it happen multiple times for the rest of the length of that contract too? Between that and the money, that's gonna be a lot for the Knicks. And again, the Knicks being so far behind, you want to keep all your draft picks as much as possible, unless it's for a younger star player, like we've mentioned Karl Anthony Towns, we mentioned Devin Booker in the past, a player like that. Now, I don't think Booker's being traded based on what he did in the bubble. Now, I think he's probably safe in Phoenix now, but Towns is definitely still out there.
Well, again, and I'm looking at what Carl's writing to me right now. Embiid is one of the top 3 big men. No way. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, Carl. I mean, who's better than him right now? If healthy, 100% healthy, what big man is better than him? I want to hear about Anthony Davis because he plays with LeBron James. You're talking about Joel Embiid playing with Ben Simmons and nobody else.
Yeah.
So look at the team.
Even if you want to put those 2, you got Anthony Davis and you got Nikola Jokic, and then who's third? Like, there's no definitive third that's better than Embiid when healthy.
If you really want me to look, I'm looking at Joel Embiid's numbers. Okay, so I will bring in Joel Embiid's numbers, and you tell me an NBA big man. I'm not talking about power forwards. I'm talking about big men. Joel Embiid this year averaged 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. 47% field goal percentage, and even at 3-point, he's 33 for a big man. That's good. So if you look at his numbers, what big man has these kind of numbers? Now, he also plays with nobody. I'm not talking about Anthony. He plays with LeBron James. Tell me a big man. You're going to say, give me the Greek Freak. The Greek Freak is
what
averaging.
Position is he?
Yeah, but he's really about, I would say he's a power forward that can't shoot. He can't shoot anywhere on the court, but dominate in the paint. So again, I do believe Joel Embiid is one of the top 3 all-around big men in the league. Karl Anthony Towns is up there too because he's a good all-around big man. And I'm talking about 5s, not 4s. I mean, Anthony Davis to me is a 4. He's not a 5. Giannis is a 4. So again, I'm looking at the big man position and what we've seen so far with Joel Embiid. And I'm not saying I want Joel Embiid on the Knicks because I don't want an injury-prone player. Right. And you watch, he'll go to the Knicks and he'll be injured for the next 4 years of that contract, and he's a complete bust. Right. I'm just hearing right now that Chris Paul is a guy that they're gunning for. I knew this from the beginning. I knew they were going to gun for Chris Paul from the beginning. One of the reasons why there was articles coming out when Rose came in that Rose was talking about bringing Chris Paul in. And now you're hearing that it's they're looking, if OKC wants this trade, they're going to want Julius Randle and possibly Kevin Knox in that trade, which you're giving up 2 significant players to this roster for the next couple of years. And you're giving up a lot of money because you're going to have to pay Chris Paul $40 million a year for the next 2 years. That's a lot of money.
I was hearing Ntilikina too could have been part of that as well.
I mean, this is not a good move for the New York Knicks if they decide to bring in Chris Paul. And I have not heard Ntilikina. I did not hear Ntilikina. I heard Julius Randle and Kevin Knox. Those are the 2 guys that OKC would probably want. And Julius Randle, I think, is a very underrated offensive player. And I also believe that Kevin Knox is still a young player that just needs to develop. And maybe Tom Thibodeau will figure things out with him. But all in all, you're looking at the big picture. You need to stay away from Chris Paul. But again, if you look at what OKC's did this year and what they have done in the playoffs, a lot of the reasons why they took Houston all the way to game number 7. Why do you think they went all the way to 7 games? Yes, they have good young players, OKC, but it's because of Chris Paul. Chris Paul was the best player on the court. Chris Paul has been the best player on OKC. So say whatever you want, Carl, or anybody that's listening right now, to say that Chris Paul wouldn't be a good acquisition for the Knicks. It'd be a good acquisition for 1 year.
Carl,
for 3 years? No.
Carl, you also said game is all about shooting now. Who cares if he's one of the top 3 5s in the league? Yeah, we're not saying he's better than some of the superstars at small forward or point guard, one of those top point guards. We're not saying he's a top 5 player in the whole league or even a top 10 player in the whole league.
He's close.
In terms of big men, there's not a definitive big man that is better than him, probably besides Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. That's really it.
Okay.
Who else is definitively better?
Okay, so let's look at this guy and say, you tell me why he is not one of the best players right now in the end. I think he's close to a top 10 player. Top 15, definitely.
Okay.
Joel Embiid is definitely a top 15 player in this league. And anybody that doesn't think Joel Embiid, I would take Joel Embiid. If without the injuries, Joel Embiid would be my top 10.
He probably would. We don't know what would happen.
But he's an injury-prone player. So I'm not going to say an injury-prone player is in my top 10. So, but Joel Embiid is top 15, easy. Tell me a player right now in the NBA that averages right now 23 and 11. Tell me a player right now in the NBA that does that. I'm going to tell you right now, you could probably name 5 that has done that. So you're going to tell me that Joel Embiid, if you really look at the big picture, he's not one of the best players in the league right now? He is. He is. He took the 76ers always all the way to the Eastern Conference Championship last year. But if you look at the team right now, this team isn't good. They're not a good team. Ben Simmons can't shoot free throws. And we're not even talking about Joel Embiid because I don't even know if that's going to happen. We heard stories last week that Joel Embiid is a guy that the Knicks are very intrigued and very interested in making a move for. If they bring in Chris Paul, I don't know if they're going to be willing to bring in Joel Embiid's contract too. Because then you're going to have to drop a lot of players for those 2 guys. And you're going to depend on a lot of those players when, again, the New York Knicks is still not an efficient team on and off the bench. This is not a good team. So even adding 2 great players, that's not going to be enough. Just as much as I think it's not going to be enough for the Brooklyn Nets. There's no way the Brooklyn Nets next year are going to be able to compete with Miami or even the Celtics and some of these other teams that are rebuilding right now. And now that you have a rookie coach and Steve Nash, you're going to have trials and tribulations with them. You don't know what this team's going to be next year with a rookie coach. So again, I'm looking at the big picture. And now you're saying Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is not a winner in the playoffs. He died down in game number 7. You know why they got eliminated in that series? They got eliminated in that series because Russell, and I'm sorry, not game 7, game 5, okay?
Right, when they almost blew it.
Yeah, it was game 5. Yep. Russell Westbrook was not good in that series. A matter of fact, James Harden outplayed Russell Westbrook in that series. It's hard.
Game 7.
Yeah, it really hurts me to say that, but it's true. So the big picture right now is you could say whatever you want about Russell Westbrook, and you're saying, hold on. So it doesn't matter if Embiid is a top 3 center. If you don't want him, he is an injury prone. Yes, I'm saying, Carl, I don't want Joel Embiid because he's injury prone. If it came down to it and Joel Embiid was Anthony Davis, who plays a lot, the majority of the games the last couple of years, I'm taking Anthony. Yeah, I'll take Joel Embiid on my team. Absolutely.
And it's the same discussion we were having when you and Mikey C were arguing if the Knicks have enough to trade for Karl Anthony Towns. We're not saying Karl Anthony Towns is not somebody we would want. We both wanted him at the right price and over Embiid, yes, because he's durable, but that doesn't mean he's definitively better when healthy. Embiid's outperformed him so far in his 6 years in the league versus Towns 5.
Yeah, again, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't believe Joel Embiid is going to the Knicks. And if Chris Paul does, and I do believe Chris Paul will be a Knick, I could see that happening right when the season is over. I believe the Knicks will make a trade with OKC. I don't think they're going to have to give up as many players as what we're hearing. I think they're going to have to give up one good player, either Knox and Randall, and possibly a first-round draft pick, a late first round, maybe one of the picks that they got for Morris or something like that from the Lakers. One way or another, they're going to have to give up a first-round draft pick. I don't think it's going to be a lottery pick or one of the picks from Dallas. I don't think the Knicks are going to give any of those guys up. But I do believe landing Chris Paul, you're going to have to give up a first round and maybe Randall or Knox to make that trade because you're going to have to take up a big contract. And that's going to solidify the Knicks to possibly make that move because OKC doesn't want to pay him. So again, I'm very intrigued to see what the Knicks are going to do in the offseason, knowing that I don't think the Knicks are happy in their draft place. And I believe the Knicks are going to try to trade away that pick because an 8th pick in this year's draft, they just feel like there's not enough talent in this draft to sit there at 8 and hope that somebody's going to fall to them.
So you think they trade up in the draft or they trade up for a star?
I think the Knicks are going to trade up for a star. I do. I don't think they're going to trade up in the draft because I still don't think that they think that anybody stands out in this draft where they're a sure championship player, a sure superstar player, which is a problem when you look at the New York Knicks over the years. They could not and will not find a superstar player in the draft, except KP. Name the last superstar that came out of a draft for the Knicks.
Also injury prone like Embiid.
Yeah. Well, again, KP is a superstar. Say whatever you want, injury prone or not. KP is a superstar. That was the one superstar, the lone superstar the Knicks had in the draft in a very, very long time. And they decided to trade him away for draft stock. So again, when you look at the big picture right now and you look at where the New York Knicks are, as a fan, I am not very excited to hear that Chris Paul might be a New York Knick because he's not 30 years old. He's not even 33 years old. The guy is 36 going on 37 years old. And as good as he is still in the NBA, when is it going to be the time where you're going to see the breakdown of Chris Paul? And here's the answer. As soon as he goes to the Knicks, there will be a breakdown. I absolutely believe that. So, Speedy, somebody's trying to call in, see who this is, and see if we have to put him through. But all in all, I look at the big picture and where the New York Knicks are, and hearing the stories that are coming out with the New York Knicks, it doesn't really make me excited in the big picture. So, again, do we have a caller? Speedy, do we have a caller? Yes, no? All right, well, put him on. Welcome to Below the Mic. Who are we speaking to?
Hello?
Welcome to Below the Mic. Who are we speaking to?
The Snowman. Who else?
What's up, Snowman?
This is where I get to tease you for you teasing me 2 years ago.
Are you talking about Russell Westbrook?
I'm Chris Paul.
Okay.
Why would Chris Paul come to the Knicks?
Why would Chris Paul come to the Knicks?
That's my question.
Here's the thing. Chris Paul has no say to go to the Knicks. He's under contract. He's under contract. So if the Knicks make a trade for Chris Paul, they can get Chris Paul because the Knicks have the money, they have the salary room, and they have the draft stock and the players that they can make the acquisition. Now, do I think cold-heartedly that Chris Paul wants to be a Knick? No, but that's not his say. He has no trade clause in his contract with OKC or the Houston Rockets when they made the trade. So if the Knicks want him, they can get him.
Okay, then would they do better with one Russell Westbrook? I think since you're throwing the questions out there, I'll throw that one at you.
So what was the question? I'm sorry. Hello? Snowman? Snowman?
I'm right here.
Yeah. What was the question?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Would it be better for them to try to get Russell Westbrook, or does the same situation apply?
I don't think the Knicks need somebody like Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is a cancer. I don't bring a guy, even though I think he's a fantastic player. He's one of the best point guards in the league. He's not a winning point guard, and either is Chris Paul. But I would trust Chris Paul for some of the development of some of the young players and working with some of the young players because we've seen him do it already. We've seen him do it in OKC. We've seen him do it with the Pelicans when he was over there with the Pelicans. We've seen him everywhere he's gone. He's helped develop young players. Russell Westbrook don't help anybody. Russell Westbrook is a me player. So as much as I love Russell Westbrook, I think he's a me player.
True on all counts with that.
So
saying that on my show.
Yeah, well, that's the truth, and that's the big picture right now.
Yeah, it is. It is true.
Yeah, but
so what would be?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What would be one move that would make a destination again for players to play?
Karl Anthony Towns, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Karl Anthony Towns. The reason why I think Karl Anthony Towns is he has a relationship with Rose. I think he's a fantastic big man. He's still very young, 24 years old. I would say one of the top 5 big men in the league. I'm talking about from the 5 and the 4. I think he's one of the top 5 big men in the league. And I think with some of the stories that you hear, I think being that he's from New Jersey, he's from the East Coast, he grew up a Knicks fan. I think it makes more sense to bring somebody like that because he knows what it is to look at a losing organization because he was rooting for a losing organization for a very long time. His family's over here. And I just think it would draw more fandom to be very happy and excited to see a young player of that magnitude. And I think you could build around a player like that. I mean, building around Chris Paul with some of these young players, even with RJ Barrett, doesn't make any sense. You keep RJ, you bring Karl Anthony Towns in. Now you have your 2 players you can build your team around.
And you said the most key thing, you can build around a big man with the unique skill set of Karl Anthony Towns. And Towns will not be afraid to go to the wall for the Knicks, with him being from that area, rooting for the Knicks for a long time. And he's got a relationship also with Thibodeau because he played under Coach Tibbs.
Right.
So I understand. So that's cool. That would be a great move.
And I hear somebody trying to call in. I'm willing to get it. I'm willing to bet it's Nathan. I'm willing to bet if somebody is calling 4 or 5 times, it's probably Nathan trying to get a hold. It better be a good question, Nathan. It better be a good question. Snowman, thank you for calling, man. I'm looking forward to coming on your show on Friday. Keep listening, man. We have a great bunch of guests. We'll be talking in just a few moments with Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney. And at 11:30, we will be talking to Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton. So I'm looking forward to that.
I think he hung up.
Well, I'm just saying. Anyways, Nathan, if you want to call, you can call after our interview. When we come back, we'll be talking to Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney here on Below the Mic.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Do current market conditions have you nervous? Our experienced team of financial professionals at Heritage Harbor Financial Associates understands that no two investors are alike. We all have different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the one-size-fits-all approach does not work, especially when planning for retirement. At Heritage Harbor Financial Associates, we analyze your unique investment style so that you can work toward your individual retirement goals on your terms. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates can help you take steps to reach your retirement goals by providing a wide array of financial products to fit your needs, even for the risk adverse. Give us a call at 631-331-6599 to learn more or to set up an appointment with one of our financial professionals. You can also find us on the web at hhfa.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/hhfa.org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stock, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC. Annuity and insurance products offered through AXA Network LLC.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
As you guys know, this is Below the Mic, and we are live every single Wednesday from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. every single Wednesday. Remember, you can go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Download our app on iOS, WWSRN, or Android, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Oh, well. By the way, as soon as we get Snowman off, Nithin's no longer calling. I think Nithin likes to just annoy people when other people on the phone. You're listening to the show. Why are you calling when somebody else is on the phone? You can call after Nithin. So I know it's you, Nithin. It's from New Jersey. It only could be you who would call 4 or 5 times when somebody else is on the phone. You do it all the time. So I love you, Nithin. But sometimes if you're listening to the show and you know somebody's on, you know we're not going to put you through when somebody else is on. So just going to give you that feedback over there. But I still love you, man. As you guys know, we are now talking to Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney. What's going on, Matthew?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I mean, besides the people calling up the show when we have a special guest or we have other callers on the phone, I'm feeling good, man.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, man. How are you and your family doing with this pandemic?
We're doing well. We had our whole family home for a while. My brother came home from college, so obviously back in March when this all went down, but it was good to have the family together for a little bit, even though it was kind of a dim situation. So.
Well, let me ask you this question. I mean, thinking of Princeton, you think about academics. You don't think about football. Even with their basketball team, Division I, they've been in the NCAA tournament. We've seen that the last couple of years. They've squeaked into the NCAA tournament and actually made some progress of what we've seen. But Princeton football doesn't really stand out over the years. It's really academic. So you have to be really, really smart to go to school. I'm willing to bet you have a 3.9 or 4.0 average. Am I right?
Yeah, 3.89.
So there you go. So you're a smart guy and you're a good football player. So let me ask you this question. Out of all the teams and all the schools that were recruiting you, why did you pick Princeton?
Yeah, so they were really one of the first teams to really get in contact with me and show serious interest in me. That really meant a lot. You know, coming out of my junior year, I wasn't really heavily recruited. And you know, when I set my film there, I got a couple offers in late January, and then Princeton hopped right on board and really connected with their coaching staff and just what they showed me that they could do with me with me at the wide receiver position was really attractive to me. Along with it being just an unbelievable academic experience, and then just set me up well for the rest of my life.
Do you think the football program and the athletic programs in the Ivy League and where you are at Princeton are oftentimes undervalued because they're always thought of as these brainiac, like super smart kids school? Do you think the football programs and again, other athletic programs sometimes get washed away, even with mid-major teams?
You know, it's pretty easy to you hear a name like Princeton or Yale or Harvard or something like that, and you're like, you know, you think academics, one of the best places in the world for school and stuff like that. But you know, you watch these games, and there's a lot of great players out on the field, and there's a lot of players in the NFL who came from the Ivy League and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty high level of football. And when you get to watch, you can really tell there's a lot of talented guys out there.
So have you reached out to Brevin White? Have you reached out to him yet?
I haven't. No, I know he's the quarterback. He turned down an offer from Alabama to go to Princeton, though.
As you guys know, by the way, we are talking to Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney. Now, Matthew, I look at recruiting, and I ask all the recruits that we interview, and we've interviewed quite a few. Actually, in the top 100, we've probably interviewed about 65 to 70 of them. So we've talked to a lot of the top recruits in the country that are going to college this year and next year. What was it like having the coach and some of the coaches from Princeton come and sit down and talk about recruiting you and coming to and asking you to come to the school of their choice?
Yeah, so, growing up, I come from a football family. My brother plays at Notre Dame. My dad played at Iowa State. So I know playing Division I football was always a goal of mine, something I always dreamed about. But, there's, injuries happen in high school and stuff like that. And I had to sit out a little bit my freshman year because of injuries. And sometimes you look at that like a big task and you're like, I don't know if this is going to happen. But I really put my head down and went to work. And when opportunities to play in college started to come in, it was really just a blessing. I couldn't even tell you all the work that went into it, but it was just really a blessing that it really came to fruition. It was it's just a dream come true, to be honest. That's the only way I can put it. So it really meant a lot that all these schools took the time to recruit me and extend me opportunities to play at their schools. So
the Ivy League was the first one to cancel their season, their fall football season, in addition to being the first to cancel their conference tournament in the NCAA tournament. So do you think they made the right decision this year doing that? And also, do you think when you end up playing, a lot of their seasons will end up being a little abnormal because of that? Or do you think it will come back to normalcy at some point in your college career?
I'm not really sure. You saw the Big Ten, they weren't going to play originally, but it sounds like they might get a season in now and stuff like that. So obviously we're living in times where things change pretty frequently. And, I'm in my football season right now. And, there's teams that are playing a game on a Friday and then the next Friday, their whole team's quarantined. So it's just this whole time that we're living in right now is really a testament to how quickly life can change. But, in terms of the Ivy League and their plans for the future and stuff like that, I hope they get a season in for the spring. I don't really have any idea or insider information on what they're going to do with that. But, I think there's a lot of smart people out there making smart decisions. So I trust them and looking forward to being a part of it.
We are talking to Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney. Now, Matthew, the wide receiver has become the most prima donna position in professional sports. And what I mean by that, we have watched guys like Odell Beckham, and we've seen guys like Hopkins or some of the wide receivers we've seen over the last couple of years come out of the Antonio Brown. I mean, all of them. You name it. Amari Cooper, Julio Jones. All these wide receivers come out of college football and come into the NFL and really transition a game as one-time guys that were very much into their games and their speed and their hands, now to really talking and being egotistical like we've seen over the years. What type of player are you? What type of athlete are you going to Princeton, being that you're a smart guy? What could the fans look forward to seeing you on the field? How would they portray you moving forward as a football player?
Yeah, just one of my things, I'm a big team guy. All I do on the field and all I do put in work and stuff like that, it's really all for the team. So in terms of prima donna stuff with the that you were mentioning, you won't get any of that from me. But I'm just a hard worker, really love the game and just really appreciate every time I get to go out there and get to play. So,
but you do agree with me that it's become a prima donna position now in the NFL?
I think there's a lot of great players in the NFL.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah. And, obviously there's stuff that comes along with that. People act out now and again, but I wouldn't say that only happens at the receiver position, but I definitely would agree that, there's been some instances over the past couple of years where it raised some eyebrows about the position.
First of all, I never said, and there are people saying right now, who said that Julio Jones is egotistical? I didn't say Julio Jones is egotistical. I said there are egotistical players at the wide receiver position. I was naming wide receivers, Carl. I don't know why you're in such a defense mode today on the social media end. I mean, everything that I'm saying, you're defensive. So I think you need to zipper your lip here and just relax. But anyways, as you guys know, we are talking to Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney.
So I saw on your Twitter account that you have the nickname Thielen Jr. So one question is you're probably a Vikings fan from that logic, I would assume.
Yeah, I'm a big Vikings fan.
All right, so two parts with that. One, where do you rank Adam Thielen among wide receivers in the NFL? And two, what is your outlook on the Vikings as a whole this upcoming season? And then also, how does Thielen, watching him play, improve your game?
Yeah, obviously the Adam Thielen story is a pretty special one. He didn't really have a whole lot of opportunities coming out of high school and just went to Mankato State and really made a name for himself. So he's one of my favorite guys. In terms of where he racks up against some of the top guys, I think year after year he's kind of proven people wrong. I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. He started the year with like 10 straight games of 100 yards straight. That's pretty unheard of. I mean, just across college or pro, that's pretty unheard of. So I know he's definitely a top 10 or top 15 guy in my opinion. That you guys may pull your hair out hearing that, but I think he's a top 10 or top 15 guy. But in terms of the Vikings this upcoming season, rough game on Sunday, but I'm hoping they can turn it around and figure it out. The offense looked good, which was promising.
They played Aaron Rodgers. That's what happened. They bumped into, I believe, if healthy this year, he's going to be the best quarterback in football. I still think he is. I know a lot of people want to put Patrick Mahomes on the top of the world because of what he's done the last couple of years. But when Aaron Rodgers is 100% healthy, he is the best quarterback in the NFL. And I don't want to hear any arguments to it. He is the best quarterback in the league. He makes, if you look at the wide receiver core that he has had over the years, he makes those wide receivers look that much better. You want to say that Tom Brady does the same thing, or Drew Brees does the same thing over the years with Marquise Colston or something like that? Yes. The great ones always make the other players that you wouldn't believe to be superstars. So again, I do believe Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league. But your thoughts to your game. I mean, what is your strengths? Are you fast? Are you a good route runner? Do you have the big hands that a lot of coaches look for? I mean, because you can grab and you don't drop the balls like pot hand Robbie Anderson. I mean, what is your strengths and what is your weaknesses? What really stands out to the coaches on what they've seen with film?
Yeah, so I'm a track guy, so I'd like to think that my speed's something that separates me. But in terms of stuff on the field, skills-wise, I've really put a lot of effort in my route running over the past couple of years. I've been training with the wide receiver trainer, Flynn Heald, since my freshman year. He played at William & Mary in Virginia, and he's helped me in ways I can't even imagine with my route running. He's helped me a ton. My receivers coach at Valley and just all the coaches at Valley, Coach Nedved and Coach Swenson, all those guys, they've really helped me a ton in the route running game. So it's just been a mixture of a lot of people who've invested into me. So I'd say speed and route running and just running away from people. I think those are what I kind of would be my selling points, but I work on that stuff a lot.
So you're like Forrest Gump. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, you could say that, I guess. Yeah.
Is that what your parents used to say when you were a kid? Run, Mahoney, run.
Yeah, my brother was always faster than me growing up. He's 4 years older, so never was beating him in too many races, but he definitely motivated me to try to catch up to him someday. But
well, that's a good thing.
There yet.
It's a good thing when you have somebody older than you that pushes your talent and pushes you as an athlete, as a person, everything. Competitiveness doesn't hurt anybody. So
definitely. Yeah, that's the truth.
So another big aspect of the wide receivers now, in addition to speed, like you mentioned, everyone's looking for the fastest guy, is also versatility. It's not just an outside guy anymore. You also want guys that can also line up in the slot. We see guys line up in the backfield. We see the Rams run their receivers as running backs a lot of the times, and other teams started adopting that too. Do you think versatility will continue to have that kind of trend, and have your coaches so far at the high school level used you in those kinds of roles too? And if so, in what ways?
Yeah. Obviously, you see all the great ones in the NFL and in college for that matter. They're all moving around and just getting them in different positions, slot and outside, just to play with the defense and create different looks for them. In terms of my playing and where I play, like if you look at me, you'd probably think I'm more of an outside guy. I'm taller, about 6'2", can run. So you'd think I'm more of an outside guy, but I've been playing a lot of slot over these past 2 years. Really enjoyed it. And it's just really added another aspect to my game I just, growing up, they always threw me on the outside. So you'd run, throw me deep balls. But when you get in the slot, just a whole different world opens up for you and just adds to the final goal of becoming a more complete receiver. So, yeah, I've got to play both, and I really enjoy both.
We are talking to Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney. Before we get into our crazy questions, I have one more good question for you. And is there a particular person over the last couple of years or your whole life that really pushed you to continue playing football, playing sports, to get this dream to play college Division I football over there at Princeton and have the opportunity to get a 4-year degree over there in Princeton and maybe quite possibly in the future be drafted by an NFL team?
Yeah, so like I said, I grew up in a football family. My dad played in college at Iowa State. My brother currently plays at Notre Dame. Growing up, I just really idolized my brother. He's been a great role model for me, and I can't thank him enough for all he's done. But just he went through high school, and he was a really hard hitting safety, and we play different positions now. But he'd be someone I'd really just say really pushed me to achieve my dreams like he did. Obviously playing in college as well. So say my brother and obviously just all my family around has really pushed me to be my best. But I can't thank them enough for all the support they've given me. So
your brother is John Mahoney, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading about him. So yes, and he's a scholar too, very smart guy as well.
Yeah, he's pretty smart dude. So
you're a smart family over there. One goes to Notre Dame, the other one goes to Princeton. It's only two of you, right?
Yeah, just two of us.
So in terms of we talked about it from the skill and speed standpoint, but the financial standpoint, we just saw DeAndre Hopkins make a massive contract with the Cardinals, $27 million over a year over the next 2 years, which shattered the wide receiver contract record. Do you
don't think he deserves that?
I'm just asking, do you think this is a trend that'll continue, or do you think this is an exception to the rule, him making like $7 million more than the next wide receiver, even if he is the best receiver in football? Do you think that will be a trend, like they should be paid the highest amount after the quarterbacks?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't think we'll ever see a receiver with one of those Mahomes contracts that we saw earlier this year. But in terms of that, obviously receivers pretty valuable position in today's game, especially as it's moving more towards pass and less away from the run game, whether you like that or not. So I think you could continue to see that with guys like Michael Thomas. Obviously Hopkins got done, Julio, stuff like that. But that's a lot of money. And I don't think they'll ever get to the quarterback level, but I think they'll be up there in terms of football with the highest contracts, just with the way the game's going. So
I don't think you'll see anybody else make $27 million a year for a very long time at the wide receiver position. The fact that we saw it is because I do believe when healthy, Hopkins plays hurt and healthy, right, the guy is consistent. He doesn't really miss any games. So do I think he deserves it? Yes. Now, again, the quarterback position will always be the highest paid position because it's the most important position on the field. And I believe that Deshaun Watson got the best contract I've seen in NFL history because he got $40 million a year for 5 years. He's not in a contract for 10. So I think that's a better deal than Mahomes because Deshaun could actually opt out of his fourth year in his contract and then go become a free agent again. He'll still be primarily in his prime of his career. So I think Watson got the better deal than Mahomes, but Mahomes got that $550 million deal for 10 years. I mean, it's an incredible deal. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. Mr. Mahoney, we asked some silly questions. I'm sure Jillian has gone over some of them with you. We do like to have fun with the recruits, and we're not scholars like you. I mean, 3.8, 3.9, 4.0, except maybe Speedy in his own little dream world. But all in all, we like to have fun with you guys. So are you ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Come on, a little bit more enthusiasm. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. I am ready.
There it is, the sir. What did I tell you, Speedy? These recruits, I feel like my grandfather when they call me sir or Mr. Marks. I mean, Mr. Marks. I mean, when somebody told me, say Mr. Marks, when I got him on a show, I think it was like one of the first recruits we've ever interviewed. I think it was like a couple of months ago. And he called me Mr. Marks. I was like, dude, if you ever call me Mr. Marks again, and I'll never forget it because it just irked me because I felt old. When somebody calls you Mr. Marks, then you really hit that pedestal. Okay, old man. I'm calling you Mr. You're no longer sir, or you're no longer Errol. You are Mr. Marks.
If all our recruits were our military, you would be a good captain.
I do not want to be Mr. Marks. Once I hear Mr. Marks, I want to hide under a table. Okay. All right. So here we go. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. First question: boxers or briefs, and why?
I go to school and I'm going right to practice after.
Commando.
So I'm probably a briefs guy just in terms of that's probably a better option for athletics after school. So I guess that's my reasoning on that one.
That's the nice way of putting it, right? I mean, the scholar way of putting it. You don't want to answer the question on the truth here.
Yeah, we'll plead the fifth on that one.
Well, that's all right. I mean, I like to have silly answers. I've heard some silly answers, but it's okay. You could go commando too. Nobody would even care. So don't worry about it.
Him and Trevor Price.
Oh, that's true. Trevor Price already told us, ex-NFL player told us that he would go commando. So he would absolutely go commando. No briefs, no boxers. Why not? I mean, you only live once. You might as well wear nothing. So there you go. What is your favorite snack to eat before a game, and why?
I like a lot of Italian food, spaghetti, cavatelli, stuff like that. Garlic bread, all that stuff. I don't know. I started doing that last year and really just fills you up because I don't like getting hungry in the middle of games. So just a bunch of pasta or cavatelli or stuff like that.
Dude, you look like a pole. How much do you weigh?
About 175, 180.
You weigh 175, 180, and you got to eat a bowl of pasta before a game. Man, oh man, I remember when I was young. When I graduated from school, I was a big time athlete too. Runner. I played football, but I was a hockey player. I was a top prospect as a hockey player. And I graduated from high school at 125, 128 pounds. Would you imagine that? I was a light little feather, but believe it or not, I was fast as hell, and I was mean. I was a very mean hockey player. So I played bigger than I was. So, and I could never, the coach used to tell me, eat starch, eat spaghetti before games, the day before games, put on some mass. I couldn't eat any of it. I'd throw up before the game because of the adrenaline rush. I couldn't.
You had to drink a milkshake before bed. That's the way to put on weight.
Oh, that's even better, man. Spaghetti then milkshakes after the game.
Yep,
Great job. Great job. Could you imagine going to the bathroom the next day? Jesus.
Favorite flavor of milkshake while we're on that?
Chocolate for sure.
Chocolate, huh? All right.
Yep.
I'm more, I like the vanilla. Even though I like chocolate, I'm not a chocolate milkshake fan.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like a lot of chocolate stuff, but not a lot of chocolate ice cream.
No, I love chocolate ice cream.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's interesting.
Love chocolate ice cream. I don't like chocolate milkshakes.
Huh.
Yeah, so
wow. Okay.
I'm a weirdo, okay, Mr. Mahoney. I'm going to call you Mr. Mahoney because you called me sir. So, Mr. Mahoney, I do not like chocolate milkshakes. I like chocolate. I don't like chocolate milkshakes. I'm a very weird person. Anyways, let's go back to the subject here. Blondes or brunettes, and why?
Oh man, I got my mom watching. I don't know if I can be answering all these.
Tell the truth. I mean, you're going to Princeton now. You're going to see a lot of smart women over there. Are you engaged? Do you have a girlfriend? What do you got?
You just got to look for all the right qualities. I don't really got a type to be honest, but just all the right qualities that you're looking for. That's probably all I'll say on that.
That's why he's answering these questions smoothly. Mommy's watching. Hi, Mom. I'm sure Dad's watching. Hi, guys. I mean, I'm just trying to have some fun with your son, man. I'm just a ma'am. Now you probably feel old with me. So there you go. So she's probably the same age as me, more than likely. How old is your mom? Don't mind me. Don't tell me her age. Give me a roundabout on how old she is.
She's around 50.
All right. So she's only like 12 years older than me. I'm 38, man. So I'm getting up there, man. I'm getting up there. I don't have any children like going to Princeton or Notre Dame, but mom's done something right. You two are smart kids, athletes. So is dad. So I give you guys a lot of credit. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm trying, over the last couple of weeks, I have not hit on any of these women actresses. Some of you guys do not know any of these women actresses. So I'm going to try to stay within the time now. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 5 people that you have to choose who you want to date from 1 to 5. And I want you to put in order. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So you like blondes, right?
Sure.
All right, because you didn't really give me an answer to that, so we'll mix it around. Mila Kunis, Keira Knightley, Scarlett Johansson, Jessica Albers, or Speedy Petey. That's him right over here. In order.
So 1 being best.
1 being best, the person you want to take on a date first.
I'll probably go you said Scarlett Johansson's one of them. Jessica Alba was one.
Yeah, that would be 2. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're all great actresses. Petey, I'll probably put you last, but that's just that's nothing against you.
I'm not mad. The first 2 that got asked this question actually put me first, so I was due for a little bit of a letdown. I'm not mad though. I'm surprised I wasn't last more often.
And if I'm being honest, I don't know the other 2. So
Mila Kunis, who was on That 70s Show. Right. She's married to Ashton Kutcher, if you know. Okay. Mila Kunis, and Keira Knightley, who was on what was that movie with Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I can't say I can picture one of them. I like Pirates of the Caribbean though, so I guess she'll go next, and then Mila Kunis after.
All right, so we see that he's a Scarlett Johansson fan. Okay, so there we go. So mom, we know the typical woman that he would like to date, somewhere around the lines of Scarlett Johansson. Am I right?
Which preferred hair color for Scarlett Johansson? Because she changed her hair color 3 times in the Marvel when she was playing.
I
Black
think
Widow.
she's a natural blonde, if I'm not mistaken. So I think she is.
Matt, what's your preference though?
She was good in the Avengers, so I'll just go with the Avengers.
I think she was redhead in that one in the first Avengers.
Okay, there you go.
Pretty sure.
What's your favorite subject in school, my friend?
That's tough. I like math a lot. I'm taking 2 math classes right now. And then probably go with like a history, government type thing after that.
Really? I like history. I'm not a math person. Terrible at math. I mean,
I like history and stuff like that. So
the regular math questions I'm pretty good with, multiplication, subtracting, division. But once we go to pre-calculus or geometry, when it comes to angles and stuff, I don't want to hear about it. That's something I have no interest in understanding, even though as a hockey player, it was all angles. I mean, if you played defense or goaltending, it was all angles. You see, I can see the angles on, playing the game, but when it comes to mathematical equations, I just can't answer them. So if a professor comes to me and asks me what is it?
Hypotheum or something like that. I don't even remember.
You see this? You see what I'm telling you?
Hypotenuse.
Yeah. Hypotenuse. Yeah. There you go. I'm sure you know what the hypotenuse is. So there you go. I haven't been in school in about 13 years, man. So it's far from me. And I'm sure mom and dad over there probably are a little lost with that too. But then again, that's why they have 2 very smart sons. Do you have any brothers and sisters besides you and your brother, or it's just you 2?
No, but it's just us 2.
Really, man? So it's 2 boys.
Yeah.
2 boys from one to the other. So let me ask you, before we let you go, one more question, and I'll let you go. Is there any person that really stands out in professional football, wide receiver or any position that you can compare your game to?
I really try to model my game after Thielen, like we mentioned earlier, but also Michael Thomas. That guy last year, he was facing all these teams were game planning to stop him, and I know he started off rough a little bit this year, but I think he's just kind of just a perfect example of just running great routes and getting open and just making plays. So those two guys I've really tried to play like and model my game after. So Edelman's a great route runner out of the slot. Love watching him. Then just those guys who make plays on the outside, any of those guys you can think of, but especially Thomas and Thielen. So
everybody brings up the Patriots.
No,
yeah.
as long as you're not a Patriot fan, we're good.
Would have thrown Diggs in there a couple months ago, but then he went to the Bills. So
he's a crybaby.
Errol hates Diggs anyway.
He's a crybaby. I don't like him. So it's good that you didn't, because then me and you would probably have it out with each other. But I still love you, man. I still love you. One of our fans have one question for you before we let you go. Do you prefer running routes to the boundary side or the field? Hold on. Boundary side of the field or towards the hash?
I like being into the boundary, just more because the ball gets out quicker. You don't have to track it as long, and you can make plays quicker after you catch it. So I like being into the boundary, but to be honest, I don't really have have big preference there. But if I was just to choose one, I'd probably say into the boundary.
All right. So before we let you go, I want you to tell the fans how they can find you on social media.
Yeah. Matt on Instagram, Matthew Mahoney _ and then on Twitter, just Matthew Mahoney 0.
Matt,
MATTHEW. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I almost cut you off there, but listen, man, we're pals now. So when the season does start for Princeton, we would love to get you back on, talk a little Princeton football with you. And we're going to follow you and definitely watch your growth as a college football player. We'd like to stay in touch with you and see how you're doing with school and hopefully see you grow as a football player, as a student, and hopefully in the future, maybe play professional football in the future.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and can't thank you enough for having me out. So,
well, I will tell you this: Jillian is our superstar. She's the one that reaches out to all the recruits, and she found you, and we really appreciate you joining us this late at night. What time is it over there?
It is 10:04.
So there you go. I mean, it's 10:04 over there by you. It's 11:04 by us over here. So we really appreciate it. Thank your parents for letting you come on, and looking forward to getting you on in the very near future, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We were just talking to Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, I absolutely want to get into this story. And you know what that story is? We're going to go back to hockey.
Oh.
And I posted something up last night after the Islanders won in overtime. And then a backlash of Ranger fans again attacked the Islanders, that the Islanders do not belong there in the Eastern Conference Championship, and that if the Islanders did not have COVID-19 slow the season down, they would not be in the playoffs and they would not be in the Eastern Conference Championship. And I had it out with a bunch of people on social media. So when we come back, we're going to argue the points of that, and we're going to get into that unbelievable win by the comeback of the Denver Nuggets, knocking off the LA Clippers, which was an unbelievable feat. And I think soon to be the future in the NBA here on Below the Mic.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Be fearless at MMA Long Island and Seituha Karate. Located at 28 Colt Court in Ronkonkoma, MMA Long Island is the martial arts school for you if you want to learn combat-proven techniques, build confidence, discipline, and self-esteem while learning real martial arts to fight back against bullies, predators, and peer pressure. MMA Long Island offers group and private lessons for all ages and levels in traditional Goju-Ryu Karate, MMA, and self-defense. MMA Long Island is one of Long Island's most affordable martial arts schools. There There are no promotion, belt, or membership fees, and family discounts are available. All classes are taught by 7th degree black belt Sensei John Benedict with over 30 years teaching experience. So whether you want to get in the ring or protect yourself and your family, MMA Long Island can help you reach your goals. Visit MMALongIsland.com. That's MMALongIsland.com or call or text 516-381-9660. That's 516-381-9660.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Let this groove a little bit, Speedy. I want it grooving here. Little Jay-Z, little attacks here. I got a lot to say, trust me. It's coming. It's coming for all you fans, including Tyler Harrison. I've got a lot to say about that idiot. That's just 1 second. Remember, this is Below the Mic. We go live every single Wednesday from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. I got to figure that out because we keep changing the time.
That's true.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Trust me.
Remember the last time you would have showed at 10 a.m.
Well, that's true. Remember, you can call us at 631-965-4990. Go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. And ladies and gentlemen, download our app on iOS, which is Apple, WWSRN, or Android, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Well, I want to get into the Rangers because a lot of Ranger fans in the last couple of days have not only attacked me on some of my posts that I've posted on Facebook, but are completely appalling, okay? Now, there's a particular person that's been on our network for quite some time. He's no longer on our network anymore, and that is Tyler Harrison, who I posted up last night that the Islanders are still not out 3-2 on to game number 6. And after I posted that, I had such backlash from Ranger fans. Now, here's the problem on why I'm so disgusted with Ranger fans. I am completely disgusted with Ranger fans. People wonder why I don't want to go to Madison Square Garden anymore. They really do. They wonder why I can't stand the world's most famous arena. And the answer is the New York Ranger fans. Okay? I am done listening to the garbage that comes out of Ranger fans' mouths. Not because I think all Ranger fans are stupid. I just think they're, and listen, you don't have to listen to this. I have to listen to your bickering for the last couple of years on, we're going to get Panarin. You got Panarin. Did they win? No. They were in the first round, the qualifying round. They couldn't win one game. Okay. Now I'm hearing because they won and they got the number 1 draft pick, which is Alexei Lafreniere. Now we're hearing that, the Rangers have the best quality players in the future. Now, how do you figure that? Okay. That's what I want to know from all you Ranger fans. What makes you think because you have you're going to have Alexis Lafreniere, you have Kapakako, and the young goaltender from Russia, Shesterkin, that you guys think that you guys have more talent than the New York Islanders organization moving forward. Now, before the show started, ladies and gentlemen, I went to top farm systems in the NHL, including the Rangers and the Islanders. Do you know where the Islanders farm system is ranked in the NHL? The answer is 6. Now, let's look at the Rangers. if the season before this year's draft, if we were to go into this year's draft, the Rangers draft and the Rangers farm system would be ranked 16th in the NHL. 16th. Okay? From 6th to 15th. Now, here's the problem, and this is what I argue about Ranger fans. And not that I think Ranger fans are stupid. I think they're clueless. I'm sitting right next to a Ranger fan. You ask him, now, Speedy, honest to God's truth, take away this year if the Islanders win or lose. Let's take this away. In the next 5 years, who has the better chance of winning a Stanley Cup?
I think right now the Islanders, because the Islanders.
You think or you know?
The Islanders have the better coach right now. He's one of the best coaches, not the best coach in the league. They just had GM of the year, and they're more balanced. You need balance in some capacity to win. Now you can't be all offensive like the Leafs are. We've seen that. You can't be all defensive either and not have enough goal scoring. You need a combination of both. It's offensive depth. In terms of production, it's defense and goaltending, and hot goaltending especially, that wins. Like, you look at the Dallas Stars, they made it with a guy that was a backup much of the year, but he got hot at the right time, and Dallas is in the Cup.
What happened to St. Louis last year?
Right, so you have that kind of case. And right now, the Rangers, as good as their farm system is, it is good. It's still more top heavy.
What is good about the farm system?
Right, it's more top heavy.
What is their number one? Tell me who their number one prospect is right now.
Their number one prospect is right now Vitaly Kravtsov, who was their number one pick in 2018, who was a decent, not great, but a decent prospect in the KHL. They kind of reached on him in the draft. It was kind of like
I was there in Dallas.
Right, it was kind of like he could be really good because he got upside, or he could be really bad. Like, it's one of those kinds of prospects, and that's their top one right now. Now, again, I'm also including some of the youngsters on their roster right now because it's still part of the rebuilding process, assuming they don't trade him. But right now, it's all top heavy right now, outside of Keandre Miller.
Don't even bring up Keandre Miller, because Keandre Miller right now in their prospects, in their pool, is ranked 15th out of their top 20 prospects. 15th, Tyler. 15th. Everybody keeps talking about Keandre Miller. Keandre Miller might not see the NHL for 3 years.
That's what I was about to say.
3 years.
So you're going with a gap now of you have to wait on him to be able to get better with positioning, get better with skating, because we've mentioned on air that's his.
Spit it out, Speedy.
That's been his weakness. He is physical, which is nice. He has a hard shot. He's kind of like that Dustin Byfuglien type at the top of his game.
He's not a good skater, Speedy.
Okay, I'm just saying that's what I'm.
That's his weakness,
right?
And so what is the most important part of playing? Speedy, the problem with you is you don't spit out your answer. You drag the answer down. We understand what you know about him. Nobody gives a crap. They already know who you're talking about. Keandre Miller. They read about his prospect background, his elite prospect background. What do you think of Keandre Miller in your own thought? Quickly.
Good player. That's 3 years away.
All right, so there you go. There you go. That's your answer, guys. Keandre Miller, who is their best defensive prospect right now that Ranger fans are talking about. I don't want to hear about the Zach Jacobs or any of these guys that everybody keeps talking about. These guys are years away. Right. Years away. So even if you draft Alexis Lafreniere, this is still a team. You called him a better.
I called them the Leafs with better goaltending. Yeah,
so a better Maple Leafs team. That's what you're going to say.
They're always one and done in the playoffs, and the Rangers have just as much pressure on them every year in the playoffs as the Maple Leafs do.
I mean, I don't understand why Ranger fans like to take a shot at the Islanders. As an Islander fan, I don't like the Rangers. But again, the Rangers are always in the playoffs. The Rangers are always making noise. Finally, in the last couple of years, the Islanders are making noise, and Ranger fans don't want to see it. They don't want to talk about it. I was at a bar the other day. It's game number 4. And it was 2-1. And it was 2-1 Tampa in that series. And me and my friend are sitting there eating after the Jet game. And we're sitting there, and at the bar, you have a guy wearing a Giants shirt, another guy coming in on the one side, and an Islander fan on the other side. This guy is, the Islander fan was like, thought everything was going to go in, so he's putting his hands up like they scored. And then the other guys were like, after Tampa scored, they were like, yes, yes. Why is it? And I knew they were Ranger fans. I knew it. And I said, are you guys Ranger fans? They said, yeah. So why are you rooting against the Islanders? Because we hate the Islanders. You hate the Islanders. They're a New York team. They're a New York team. It benefits you to hope. Do we have a caller?
I thought Nathan returned, and now ultimately he just hung up again.
Well, that's Nathan for you.
Nathan, call back.
But to me, you would think that when you look at the big picture, the Islander fans, as much as Ranger fans. Now, when the Rangers went to the Eastern Conference Championship or even the Stanley Cup, I didn't hate the Rangers. Did I want the Rangers to win? No. I wasn't rooting against them. I wasn't. They were playing LA. And honest to God, I'd rather see a New York team win over LA. But all in all, I don't root and talk bad about the Rangers farm system, except when I know it's true. And the truth is, the Rangers farm system is shit. Excuse my language, but it is. It's garbage. It is a garbage farm system. And even if you have the number one pick, which you do, okay, that does not mean that you are going to get the best player in the draft. And even though it says on paper that Alexis Lafreniere is the best player, they're talking about this center kid, the number 2 prospect, being the best player in the draft. And the Rangers might just completely walk all over, and they need a center. They need center. They don't need.
They do.
They don't need wingers. They need centers.
They've needed centers for a while.
Yes, Nathan. We are taking calls.
Yes, Nathan, call back.
So call back. You're allowed to call back in and get on, man. But you know it's very, very hard when you're calling when other people are on the phone. So if you want to call now, Nathan. But again, my argument is in the big picture and where the Rangers are and the Islanders are, I think the Islanders are light years ahead of the Rangers. Light years. Because they've got the players already. They've got the Taus. They've got the Barzels. They've got the defensive players, the Pelliks, the Pulaks, the Lettys and the Boychucks. They've got the guys that you can win with. The Rangers do not. So that is the difference. And I just can't stand Ranger fans. Now, before we go to a break and get our second guest on from Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton, which we're going to have on in just 1 second in the next couple of minutes, I do want to get into the Denver Nuggets. Now, I did not count on the Denver Nuggets knocking off the Clippers. I didn't, especially going down 3-1 against Kawhi Leonard and Bunch. I didn't think they stood a chance.
All right, here he is.
All right, put Nathan on the phone. Nathan, what's going on, man? When you know somebody's on the phone, man, why do you call 4 or 5 times? I can't put you through until that guy gets off the phone.
I didn't know there was a guy on the phone before.
Well, you got to watch the show, man. What the heck are you doing? What's going on, man? I saw your new car.
What?
Congratulations.
Thank you. What's up, guys? How you been, man?
We're good, man. I'm not dancing. I mean, seriously, I'm talking sports.
How's Speedy doing with his vibrator business?
Oh, God.
Well,
you have to bring that back.
Well,
Errol went 3 months without mentioning that.
Well, here's the thing with Speedy. Walmart had it in, Kmart closed down because of it. I mean, they bought too many of them, and because they bought too many of them and they didn't sell, they lost their store. So the vibrators weren't a big hit over there. But over there in Walmart.
So now you know the economic loss that it brings.
But they're up 15% in Walmart.
All jokes aside, but I everything good with both of you because you guys are killing it with the show right now. So
I'm what? I'm sorry?
You guys are killing it with the show. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And Nathan, I've been watching your stuff too. Love the interviews, and hopefully soon we can get your show on the network. I mean, I've been waiting for you to get this stuff so we can talk about it. But
I've been busy because I interviewed Robert Turbin today on the show.
I saw Robin. Who did you interview? I'm sorry.
Robert Turbin, the running back who used to play for the Seahawks.
Oh, okay. Yes. I remember that. So. Hey, listen, man, you're doing a great job. I love your interviews and keep up the good work. And like I said, if you ever need our help or you need my help, I can help you out. So what would you like to talk about, bud?
So first, I need to ask you, what was your reaction to the controversial call between the Rams? We could have won that game, and they freaking called offensive pass interference against Michael Gallup, and that was not offensive pass interference in my opinion. That was a bullshit call, and the refs for some reason they hate on us. First it was a Des Bryant catch. That was a catch, first of all, and he caught that ball. And this one now, I don't know what's going on with the refs against us.
This was worse than the Des Bryant thing. The Des Bryant thing was at least close. This one was not.
That
was obviously not offensive pass interference.
First of all, the Cowboys weren't going to win that game anyways.
We were going to win that game.
No, they weren't. I mean, First of all, both teams are terrible. All right, let's call a spade right now. You look at the Cowboys defense in that game; they were horrendous. Right. They were absolutely horrendous. Okay, so I still think the Cowboys offense is going to be fun to watch because CeeDee Lamb, once he figures things out on the field and the speed of the game, he's going to be explosive and fun to watch. And Amari, it's going to benefit Amari Cooper too and Ezekiel Elliott because it's going to open up the field for them to do the things that they do well. The only thing that I look at right now, the Cowboys, is first of all, they lose Van Der Esch for possibly 8 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a team right now that cannot lose any defensive players, especially the top defensive player, I believe, on their front seven. The guy that calls the plays, he's the guy, he's the leader, he's the captain out on that field, especially in the front seven.
And he was middle linebacker this year. They switched them, the two of them.
So, and that secondary is horrendous. Okay, that is a terrible secondary. They better get Earl Thomas on the phone because if they don't, they're in a lot of trouble. I mean, they decided to drop Clinton Dix, and a lot of people thought because they dropped Clinton Dix is because they were bringing Earl Thomas.
Better.
If they don't do that, I don't know where they're going this year. They don't stand a chance. And by the way, I was very happy for the Washington football team this week. I really was. You know why? Because a lot of people count them out. A lot of people don't.
Ron Rivera is such an inspiration.
Yeah, he is. And I talked to Ron Rivera when I was over there in Miami. I got to speak to him for about 5 minutes. He was at the cigar event that I was at. So he showed up and I had a good conversation about him. At the time, a week before, he signed with the Washington football team. So I didn't really get to speak to him a lot because there was a lot of people interviewing, but nice guy, inspirational, ex-soldier, a guy that you can definitely look forward to listening to, not only in a player's room or on the field, but just man to man, person to person, friend to friend. I think Ron Rivera is a sincere, nice guy. But not only Ron Rivera, I was really impressed with their defense, especially in the fourth quarter. They completely shut down the Eagles in the fourth quarter. And it wasn't Chase Young. It wasn't any of it was the players that you wouldn't expect, the guys that really, that you wouldn't be talking about, going into the week number 2. And to me, that is the most impressive. And Haskins had a good game.
Yes, he did.
He had a very good game. All the people that keep saying that Haskins is not a quarterback and not a starter quarterback in the league, you're sadly mistaken. Washington was the most impressive team out of all the teams in that division. The Cowboys, they could be the surprise team out of the division. I don't trust Mike McCarthy. I just don't. I don't trust him because he doesn't fit that offense. He doesn't. I've been saying this over and over and again. They tried to compare Mike McCarthy's numbers to Adam Gase's numbers this week. And believe it or not, Adam Gase's numbers in certain aspects of the game were better than Mike McCarthy. As funny and it's sad to say, they were comparing both guys, and both guys were up for the Jets job 2 years ago. So what does that tell you? You don't know who is going to be a good coach in the NFL and who's going to be a bad. I'm not saying Mike McCarthy is a bad coach because he's been successful with the Green Bay Packers, but going to another team, another organization, and don't have Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre throwing the ball, that's completely different. It's a completely different team. Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, Nathan. Dak Prescott isn't. I mean, seriously. I mean, do you think so? Nathan? Did we lose him?
I mean, Dak Prescott, I need to see more out of him. He needs to start winning games. He needs to start winning the close games, actually, because we were 1-6 last year in close games. So I feel like he needs to show more before he gets paid with this contract. So I don't think he's there yet, but hopefully he can turn it around for week 2 against Atlanta. So we're home again. We're home for a home opener in Atlanta, and hopefully we can turn around there. And I need to see more out of Dak.
That's a team. Atlanta, by the way. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I know, but he needs to learn how to come when we're down by. For example, we were down right the week 1. He needs to know how to be composed and win games from behind when they're losing. He needs to know how to do that, and he hasn't done that yet. And as a Cowboy fan, I need to see more out of him before we give him the contract. But as far as Mike McCarthy, he's a good coach. But who else was out there? Yeah, I know.
Do you know who I think they should have picked for their coach? Do you know who I would have picked?
Lincoln Riley.
What? No, I didn't.
That's
think,
who he thought, but
I thought
no,
Lincoln
it was
Riley.
a bad fit.
No,
I don't like it either.
No, I like Lincoln Riley.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I like Lincoln Riley, but he wasn't leaving Oklahoma.
Right.
Yeah, he already said that he's not leaving Oklahoma, and I don't think he's going to leave, even if Mike McCarthy gets fired in 2 years, which I predict is going to happen. Here's the guy. I think Matt Rule would have fit the best with the Cowboys. I think the spread offense. You bring in CD Lamb in there. You have Amari Cooper. You have the other kid who you drafted 2 years ago, Gallup. You have guys that you could spread out. And also, he loves, in college, he loves the power running backs. So Ezekiel Elliott would have fit better in that offense than a Mike McCarthy West Coast offense. The West Coast, first of all, it's going to take CD Lamb probably half the year to figure out the West Coast offense. It's a very complicated offense for a wide receiver too. The routes that you have to run, the different screens that you have to run in the open field, it's completely different. And most of these new coaches, these supplemented coaches that we've seen, are now doing the West Coast offense. But again, it's not an easy offense to learn. Okay, so I think that Matt Rule, his style of offense, which is not a West Coast offense, is a spread offense, a college offense style of game. You would expect somebody like the Cowboys to work, but the Cowboys weren't interested in Matt Rule. They weren't. It was either the Giants or the Carolina Panthers. That's where Matt Rule is going. So if you ask me my opinion, that's where I thought the Cowboys had it wrong. I think the coach. In the offseason, I think they made some good moves. I really do. Bringing Poe in, I mean, it helps their running. It helps them run defense. They brought in Clinton Dix, and then you heard All Thomas was dropped by Baltimore. I would have snagged him up with the blink of an eye, knowing that your secondary is that bad. I mean, seriously, they're awful secondary.
And the Falcons just had 3 receivers with 100 yards. Good luck with that.
They're going to have a lot of problems in the open field. And no Van Der Esch. What was that?
No. We need to sign Earl Thomas. We need to sign Clay Matthews, and we need a tight end because
you do not need Clay Matthews. You do not need
that's the wrong type of linebacker.
You do not need an old man that hasn't played a good game of football in 3 years.
No, we need a tight end now because Blake Jarwin is out for the season.
Well,
Blake Jarwin wasn't that good anyway.
The Cowboys' strength wasn't their tight end position; it's their wide receivers. I mean, they have explosive wide receivers on both sides of the ball. So, if you were Mike McCarthy and you would expect him to use those wide receivers in all different ways, he didn't in the first week. He just didn't. It didn't make a lot of the play. You keep saying that the Cowboys should have won that game. I'm sorry, the Cowboys had no business being in that game. They really didn't. The Rams kept them in that game. That's why the Cowboys were in that game, is because of the Rams. They just were, they couldn't get out of their own way in that game. And McVay's another guy that if he doesn't get into the playoffs this year, he is going to be fired. He is going to get fired. And that's the guy that could be the next head coach for the New York Jets if he gets fired. I could see
that would be a gift wrapping if you got
Sean McVay. Why? Sean McVay has not been good for the last 2 years, Speedy.
All right, I'm not arguing this because we have a guest, but it's more the GM's fault.
No, get out of here. Sean McVay was not good. He wasn't good last year. Wasn't good the other year. He was good his rookie year when they went to the Super Bowl. Actually, it was the second year. Second year.
So
he was good. The first 2 years, he was good. In the last, I would say the last year and a half, he hasn't been good. So, and that team has really digressed. It hasn't gotten better. So, I don't know. Nathan, before we let you go, man, I want to know your honest opinion. I know you're a Ranger fan, okay? I know you're a Ranger fan. Are you another Ranger fan that is going to put down the Islanders for what they have done this year? Or are you going to give the Islanders props?
I mean, I'm going to give them props, yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, they no one thought that they would go this far, but Barry Trotz, man, he's a hell of a coach. and I think the Islanders have a shot in the series, but I'm picking the Dallas Stars to win.
I will say this: whoever comes out of the East is winning the Stanley Cup. Whoever comes out of the East.
The Dallas Stars. I'm picking the Dallas Stars.
I know, but I'm telling you, whoever comes out of the East is going to win the whole thing. It's either the Islanders or the Tampa Bay Lightning. As good as the Dallas Stars have been and what they have done, which is sensational, I still don't believe in the Dallas Stars that even though they've done. And Turner, I know, Mr. Turner, you're listening to the show right now and probably having a heart attack. I am not saying the Dallas Stars do not deserve where they are. What is it?
No. I thought the Islanders were already in the Stanley Cup final.
No,
they're down 3-2 to Tampa.
Eastern Conference,
No.
buddy.
Wait, no, I thought they moved on already.
No,
Nope. They have to win 2 more games, otherwise they're out.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, 2 more games.
2 more games,
They're down
man.
3-2.
Where have you been, man? Is your head up your ass or something, man? What are you doing, man? Yeah. Are you driving around your Tacoma right now that your parents bought you? That beautiful Tacoma. By the way, now you can drive over here to Long Island and show me that fancy car of yours, man. I mean, seriously, you bragger. I saw what you were doing, posting up all over social media. Such a smarty, man. This guy, man, he can't help himself. He really can't. But you deserve it, man. You deserve it. I'm happy for you.
I got one more thing for you guys before you have your guests on. But what was your thoughts when the Nets hired Steve Nash, and what are your thoughts on the NBA playoffs?
Oh, what did I think about Steve Nash? I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke. Not even questionable. I thought it was a joke. You fired Kenny Atkinson, arguably one of the best player development coaches in the NBA. You after 2 years of great basketball, a team that shouldn't have been in the playoffs the year before with no talent whatsoever, and going and playing the way they did throughout the season and winning over 40 games, and then fire him his second year in the middle of the season because Kyrie Irving and him didn't get along. What do I think about it? And bringing in Steve Nash, who has no coaching experience as a head coach, and I don't care how great of a basketball player he is, you're going to a team with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving expecting to win your first year. If he doesn't do it, it was a complete catastrophe. I think it's going to smack Sean Marks right in the face, and he's going to get fired for this. I really do. I think it was a bad move by the Nets. I think it was a terrible move. If you want to know my honest opinion, I would have brought in Jason Kidd over Steve Nash. That's what I would have done. I would have brought over Jason Kidd over Steve Nash, because at least I know that Jason has coached in the NBA and has some success in the NBA. Steve Nash is not. He was the assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors. Give me a break. Me and you could have been the assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors. Give me a break. And they didn't even have a good season. Give me a break. So that's what I think. And what do I think about the NBA playoffs? Just like I was saying, I'm rooting for the Nets.
Nuggets.
The Nuggets. I'm sorry. I said the Nets because you brought up the Nets. I am rooting for the Nuggets. I want to see the Nuggets win. I like the Kid Murray. I like the Joker. I like what they're doing. I like this bench. I think they're great.
So who do you think is coming out the East then, Heat or Celtics?
Celtics.
I think it'll go 7 games. I think Miami is going to be the team to beat next year, because I think Miami is going to add another superstar to play. And here's the prediction. Everybody wants to know where everybody wants to know where Giannis is going. Giannis is going to Miami.
If you can't beat him, join him. Part 2.
That's right. I'm telling you right now. Pat Riley will talk Giannis to go to Miami. That's where Giannis is going next year. Mark my words. Mark my words. Stamp that up, just like I said with Tom Thibodeau. Draw it right up and bury it into the ground and pull it out when it happens and say that I was right. I can read a crystal ball because I am the crystal ball. Giannis, the Greek freak, I'm not going to pronounce his last name because I can't. I'm very bad with last names, by the way. I can't pronounce your last name, Nathan. So
Ramachandra.
Ramachandra. Am I right? Yeah. Well, whatever. I'm terrible. Anyways, man, thank you for calling, man. We love you. Keep listening. I'm listening to you, and get a hold of me when you're ready to put your show on our network.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, man. Nathan, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, our second guest, and I know he's been waiting very calmly, and I would apologize. We had Nathan, the great Nathan, who got a new Tacoma on the road today, and he wanted to brag about it. So I'm happy that he called the show because I wanted to give him some props. We will be talking to Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton here on Below the Mic.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 16 years with insurance solutions for auto, home, commercial, life, and retirement. He's located at 54 Sunnyside Boulevard, Suite H in Plainview. That's just 1,000 feet south of 495. Local agent, local advice. The time to think about insurance is before you need it. So do yourself a favor, and before you pay your next insurance bill, give Ed and his team a call, 516-935-3900, or visit him online at www.allstate.com/EL. Edward H. Lehman Insurance is your trusted insurance advisor.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Below the Mic. We are live every Wednesday now from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Early morning. Yes, early morning. I'm sitting here. It's almost morning, guys. I had a long day. I don't want to tell you my story, my whole life story, because we have a special guest on the phone. But I'm telling you, it's been a lot harder than you think, doing all the things that we do here at the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. But I'm very happy to be here. As you know, you can call us at 631-965-4990. Go to our website at worldwidesportsradio.com. Download our damn app. How many times do I have to tell you guys? Go to iOS, which is WWSRN, or Droid, the Play Store, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Well, we have our second guest of the day. We are now talking to Maryland wide receiver recruit, Tai Felton. What's going on, Tai?
Nothing much. How you guys doing?
Oh, man. What can I say? I'm a little tired, man. A little storytelling. But, you know, you got to keep on going, keep moving, and doing what we do best, as you know.
Yep, I feel that for sure.
How are you and your family doing with this pandemic?
We're doing great. We're hanging in there. We're just trying to wait for this Passover so we can get back to our regular lives. But we're hanging in there, doing pretty good.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have a younger sister. She's 13 years old.
Well, I've been reading a lot about Maryland. We've interviewed a lot of big-time recruits for the next couple of years for Maryland. It's an incredible recruiting class. I think this year they were ranked in a top 15 in recruitments and recruiting class. What are your thoughts to Maryland's recruiting class this year and moving forward as a Maryland player?
It's a great class. Coach Locks is building something very special in Maryland. We're rebuilding, of course, trying to get back on the map, trying to do something in Big Ten. I think we have a lot of good guys in our situation, a lot of great guys, personality-wise, and great football players on the field. And I think the future is bright for us because it's a bunch of DMV guys staying home and trying to put on for DMV and try to bring something special to the University of Maryland for the state of Maryland.
Well, I like to go to the DMV too. I just don't like to sit there, you know.
Yeah.
I was just being a little funny, you know. That was a stupid joke. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You brought up Loxley. It's a very young coaching staff as a whole. Maryland went through a big scandal 2 years ago with DJ Durkin when he was there as the head coach. Obviously, he got suspended and eventually fired by the NCAA. So it's a very new coaching staff. So what was it about that coaching staff that really got you most hooked on the Maryland program?
Well, as you guys might know, Coach Locks, he's from Bama. He worked with Coach Saban. He was the office coordinator with Bama. He went to national championship, won national championship with Tua. And just the fact how he's trying to bring that Alabama type winning culture to the University of Maryland.
I think we lost him. I do. I think we lost him, Speedy.
Tai, you with us? Yeah, looks like he is not there.
We might have to get him back on. I'd like to apologize. We'll get Tai back on, so definitely stay tuned. By the way, Maryland football has been. Oh, there he is.
All right, Tai, you're back in.
Tai, you're back in.
Sorry, we lost you.
We lost you for a second.
Yeah. So as I was saying, just knowing that Coach Locks came from Alabama, and if you guys knew, he was the offensive coordinator there. He coached with Nick Saban, won a national championship, and just knowing that he's trying to bring that winning culture to the University of Maryland, just trying to flip the whole situation around because Maryland wasn't really that good with DJ Durkin, and just knowing that he brought like some of the Alabama staff with him and just trying to get back on the right track and in the future, try to get the future bright for us.
As you guys know, we are talking to Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton. Now, wide receiving position is a prima donna position. We were just talking to Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney, and I asked him the same question. And I put Julio Jones in the conversation. So I'm going to take the Julio Jones out of the prima donna conversation, even though he's one of the top wide receivers in the league. So let's talk about Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Antonio Brown, all the different prima donna wide receivers. Great wide receivers, Terrell Owens, Chad Ochocinco, those are prima donnas, okay? Being that it's a prima donna position now, and you see some of these players come from college football, do you see yourself as that prima donna player, or you see yourself as a team player, not a me player, moving forward, going over there to Maryland?
I definitely see myself as a team guy. I like to support my teammates, whatever we do. Because at the end of the day, you can't win just by yourself. It's a team game, 11 players on the field, 11 players on offense. So you have to have chemistry with your teammates, chemistry with the quarterback in order to win games. And just playing me balls is really not going to win you any games, especially at the collegiate level. So it's gonna have to be a team ball game to win the national championship.
Is there any particular type of wide receiver or specific wide receiver that you build your game around, or was a big influence you on your football growing up?
So I like watching Julio Jones growing up. My dad's from Atlanta. He's a huge Atlanta Falcons fan. And but I've usually gotten the comparison to Calvin Ridley because same build and same size.
I love you already, man, because believe it or not, buddy, I am a pure believer of Calvin Ridley. I love Calvin Ridley. I watched him play college ball. I remember when he was drafted, I wanted the Jets to draft him. The Jets passed up on him like a lot of teams. I think Calvin was late teens pick.
Yeah, he was like 26 or something when he was supposed to go in the middle half of the draft, or even sometimes top 10.
Yeah, I think Calvin Ridley is a fantastic player, and I love him, and I think he's going to have a fantastic season. He was one of my picks to be one of the top wide receivers in the league this year. I think he's going to completely take over from the Atlanta Falcons, even over Julio Jones.
You're off to a good start, 101 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just getting the comparison to Calvin Ridley because same build, skinny guys, kind of physical, good route running. So just getting that comparison with him was pretty exciting. Just I kind of like to compare my games to him. We'll try to take some tips on he does so and try to put it in my game. So yeah.
Well, if you're anything like Calvin Ridley, I could be your agent.
So yeah, I'll be one soon.
Yeah, well, you could come and talk to me. I'm pretty good at negotiating contracts. So there you go, man. I mean, I'm not an agent. I never went to school for being a lawyer, but I met a lot of agents that never went to school being a lawyer either. Do very, very well. Work with a lot of NHL players that are in the NHL right now. So it's all about negotiating a deal and understanding how to market your players. So, but if you're anything like Calvin Ridley, you'll be in the NFL. There's no question, because guys like Calvin Ridley come once, I believe, once in a generation. I don't think there's a lot of people like Calvin Ridley in the league. You say whatever you want. Oh, there's a million great wide receivers. Yeah, but Calvin Ridley does a lot of different things that other wide receivers don't do. One thing is he's a good blocker. For a guy his size and what he does at the line of scrimmage, he's a good blocker, and he's a very physical person for a guy his size. So there are not a lot of wide receivers. Odell Beckham is not a physical guy. He's not. You want to get into Odell Beckham's head, you push him around. That's how you get into Odell Beckham's head. You saw what Josh Norman did when he played for the Giants.
And the other corner that threatened him.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is get it. Jarvis Landry is a guy that you can. He's very aggressive. He's a very contact happy player. There are not many guys like that in the NFL. Julio Jones is a guy like that. I mean, he gets better as the contact comes to him. There are some, but most of them are big and strong. Calvin Ridley is not a big man. So I love Calvin Ridley. So if you're anything like Calvin Ridley, my friend, I could be your agent, bud. As you guys know, we are talking to Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton. So I watched the game of football really my whole life. And route running is, to me, probably the most important thing when it comes to wide receivers. And what is there one I guess weakness you have when it comes to your route running, or are you a good route runner all in all?
With my, I feel like I'm a great route runner. I feel like I improve my route running every day because I usually go to the field every day and try to improve, try to work, see on stuff. For the most part, I feel like I'm a great route runner. So, but of course, I can always improve. So I keep on working on that too. So yeah.
So going back to college football, the Big Ten, your conference that you're going to be entering, just made a very unique decision. They're going to start the season in October. They're going to kind of do an 8-game with a different college football conference championship setup. So how do you think this will affect the conference going forward? And also, do you think as well that this will affect the college football playoff?
For the most part, I don't think it will affect the conference that much. And I think some of the smaller schools, the Big Ten, they're gonna have to play like a harder schedule since usually they play Ohio State, Michigan, and all those teams in a row. But I think they have to play harder schedules, and I don't think it really affects college football playoff that much. I feel like NCAA will make it work as they always been doing, and I feel like at the end of the day, just getting to see them play again is very exciting. So I think they're just fine, just getting the season at least, because at first they weren't supposed to have a season. So I think everybody's excited to see them play again. So yeah.
We are talking to Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton. Now, Tai, are you a dancer? What kind of music do you like? First of all, what kind of music do you like to listen to for the games? Are you a Little Baby fan? Please tell me.
I am for sure a Little Baby fan. That's my.
You're waiting for the first recruit that doesn't like Little Baby.
I'm trying to find a recruit to tell me I can't stand that guy, Little Baby. I mean, everybody likes this guy. I mean, seriously. I mean, I hear this guy all the time, and I am in the music industry too. I've never met Little Baby, but he's like, I don't know, man. He's like a phenomenon now. Everybody loves him. And the first person I hear that comes out of my mouth, what kind of music like Little Baby? I mean, Little Baby. I mean, how many littles are there? There's Little Zane, Little Baby, Little Wayne, Little Ass, Little Butthole. I mean,
they're not original.
I mean, seriously, how many littles are there? I mean, seriously. Anyways, Little Poopy. How's that? I mean, I've been watching that. What's that? Not documentary. There's a TV show. How to Be a Rapper or something like that with in Atlanta. What's that guy? Oh my God, the producer Jermaine Dupri, and he's Jermaine Dupri has all these young hip hop artists come to his house, and he puts them on like his show where he puts them through these different subjects or these different topics, and they go through it, and then he picks a winner at the end of the whole show. It's really interesting. But there was a kid on his show called Little Poopy. Okay, Little Poopy. And you know why he got that name? His father said he liked to poop all over the place, including his, pick up his own poop and put it on his face. So they call him Little Poopy.
That's a terrible name. That's all.
I mean, seriously, man. How do you sell that? Oh, what's your name? Little Poopy. What's up, Poopy? I mean, I'm serious. You might as well. I could tell you what I really will call him, but I don't want to say it on live radio. I've said enough today, so I'm not going to say that. As you guys know, we are talking to Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton, who's a Little Baby fan, another Little Baby fan. So I'm not happy with you now, Tai. I'm not. Do you like any rock music? Could you throw me off on this one? Throw me a curveball?
No rock music for me. I mean, sometimes I'll hop in the car, my quarterback puts on country music. I know.
Oh, my God. There it is.
Couple songs, not really a lot, but I'm more of a Little Baby rap type guy. So, yeah.
See, Speedy, I don't even have to ask him that question. I could just say, okay, you're a Little Baby fan.
You're waiting for the first recruit to not be a Little Baby fan, and he'll be your favorite recruit.
I heard his album. I didn't get the chance to listen to his album. I usually get all the albums early because I am a pretty well-known DJ, so I usually get their albums before everybody gets to hear them. I've got his album. I haven't really listened to his album because it just annoys me. Some of the music, it's like he's got 3 songs in the top 20, and 2 of them I don't even understand. Okay, so there you go, man. But it's a hit. So there you go. Well, I don't know. Go ahead, Speedy.
All right, so we were talking about the Big Ten earlier. What opponent in the Big Ten are you most looking forward to facing, and why?
Oh, definitely Penn State. 100% Penn State. And I would say because so when I committed to Maryland, usually in my area, I'm a big Penn State fan, so there's a lot of trash talk, and Penn State beats me every year. Penn State this, Penn State that. So there's a lot of hype behind the game. So I would definitely say Penn State is a very exciting opponent I want to play, and hopefully beat them.
One of our hosts of our morning show, he went to Penn State, so he's probably not happy to hear that.
Well, good, because Penn State stinks. Okay, I don't like Penn State either. So there you go. I grew up a Florida State fan, so I never liked Penn State.
You hate Penn State and Wisconsin.
I can't stand the Badgers. Okay, and you know what? Jill actually reached out to me, our social media person, and she told me that we're getting another Wisconsin kid on our show in a couple of weeks. So,
oh boy!
So and she says, I know you don't like Wisconsin. I'll be nice to the kid, but I am not a Badgers fan. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I have a vendetta. I don't know, man. I don't understand it. When I was a kid, I just couldn't stand it. Just as much as I couldn't stand North Carolina in college basketball.
Well, that makes a little more sense. You're a Duke fan. They're direct rivalries. Florida State and Wisconsin, I don't know if they're direct rivalries.
I don't know. Did we lose Ty again?
Ty is still there.
There he is.
It froze for like a second.
Well, that's why I just want to tell you, that's why I don't like North Carolina in college basketball. I can't stand North Carolina as much as I can't stand Wisconsin. It's just like a thing when I was a kid. I grew up a Duke fan just as much as Florida State. So I for some reason, I have this vendetta against Wisconsin. I just don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like their team. I don't like the boring, the way they play. I don't like anything. So, there you go. We are talking to Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton. So, Tai, we usually do this with recruits. We ask silly questions, and we want a silly answer. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. First question. Boxers or briefs, and why?
I'm probably a briefs guy.
Why is
like
that?
I'm usually around school playing basketball, playing PE, and then after school we got practice. So I'll just fight for athletics. Briefs is probably like the better option. So
You don't like it to breathe. You don't like them to hang. You know.
Nah. I'm a briefs.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
As an athlete, I didn't like when they bounced about my leg and stuff like that and stick to my leg. I would agree with you. Boxer briefs are my way to go, and you're one of many athletes that have told me boxer briefs. Some of them have told me they like them to breathe, and I said, well, I'm glad you like them to breathe. How do you feel when you're wearing a cup and that thing is like, that's enough said. You know what I'm saying. But number 2, favorite snack to eat before a game and why?
So I have a big sweet tooth, so any candy. So I like Skittles. Sometimes I eat Skittles during the game. Welch fruit snacks is a big thing. I really like Welch fruit snacks. So I'll eat Welch fruit snacks right before kickoff and right before pregame, all that. So yeah, I have a big sweet tooth. I like fruit snacks a lot.
A commercial with Marshawn Lynch will be in your future.
Yep, hopefully.
We have a lot of recruits that like those fruit snacks. So and by the way, I love Welch's too. Matter of fact, I had a bag of Welch's when I was at the mechanic today. My friend was helping me with my brakes. So before the show, I was getting my car fixed, fixing it up, making it look beautiful. And I was eating a bag of Welch's. So we have something in common. So you know what I'm going to do for you, buddy? I like you. I like your personality. I'm going to make a bet with you. You ready? Here's the bet.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the bet. If you score 3 to 4 touchdowns in your first 2 years of college, you have to start and you have to score. Not both years. In 1 year, I'm going to give you 2 years. You got to score 4 touchdowns or more in a season. I will send you a 3-month supply of Welch's candies. Okay, gummy candies. I'll send you a couple. Give or take, you have a bag of those every single day. I'll give you about 90 packages. 90 packages, man. But you got to do something for me, okay? Your first touchdown in the NCAA, you got to come up with a dance that just stands out to people. I want you to do a dance that nobody will ever forget. And I want you to point to the sky and blow a kiss, okay?
Got you. Yep, for sure.
I'm being serious. I want to see something crazy. I'm not even gonna. I told a couple of recruits do a Dougie and stuff like that. I want you to do something original, something that only Tai Felton can do. He could pull off.
Got you. Yo, I'll definitely be thinking of something, but I got you. I'll hold you to the bet for sure.
Listen, I'm a man of my word, so I'll give you 2 years, dude. I gave them 1. I'm going to give you 2 years, but it can't be back to back. It can't be 2 years for a touchdown. It's got to be 1 year. So you have a chance for 2 years, 4 touchdowns or more in one of those years. If you do it, I promise you, you will get your 3-month supply of Welch's candies.
Yep, I got you. Yep. Definitely. I'll remember this. You got to remember it too. I'll definitely remember this.
Dude,
we have everything on file.
We have everything on file, my friend. I don't forget anything, dude. I don't forget anything. And your first touchdown, it's got to be unique. I want it to be on ESPN. So when they interview you, and you're a big part of that game, I said, who told you to do that? You can mention this crazy idiot. Well, somebody I interviewed with a couple of years ago or a year ago, but we're going to stay in touch with you, man, because I like you. I like your personality. And I might even come over there and come and check you out in a real game, man. I would love to go over there to Maryland and check you out. So we've built a lot of good relationships with a lot of good recruits. I think a lot of them have very unique personalities, you being one of them. We've met a lot of them.
And we're including his quarterback last week, Billy Wiles.
By the way, that reminds me, we interviewed hopefully starting quarterback at Tulane, Billy Wiles, the other day. And Speedy actually told me before the show that he was your quarterback in high school.
Yep, still is. Yep.
Look at that. Billy is a very calm, collective. He actually did the interview in his car.
Yep.
With his windshield wipers on. And I'm like, are you in your car with your windshield wipers? He's like, oh, damn, I forgot my windshield wipers on. How do you forget your windshield wipers are on? I mean, he's a unique personality too. Very nice kid. Very smart kid. So I could see you have to add a little bit of punctual personality. I think that's you. And Billy's more the calm, collective captain type of guy, right?
Definitely. That's definitely Billy Wiles for you.
I could tell. He's that type of guy. All right. Question number three. I'm through today. I'm so tired. I mean, over there. Oh, my God. Question number 3. Blondes or brunettes, and why?
I'm definitely a blonde guy, for sure.
Oh,
definitely
okay.
blonde.
All right.
Watching, she probably like, what is he talking about?
But man, you're going to Maryland, buddy. You're going to Maryland. There's a lot of blondes over there, man. You'll have your fun over there. It's nice over there.
Yeah.
Beautiful women, man. You're going to have your fun. Are you a single guy?
Yeah, I'm single. I'm really focused on the game, but it is what it is.
That's what they all say. Oh, we're really focused on the game. Then we go in there. It's like, Mom, I'm coming home with my new girlfriend. Then the next year, Mom, I'm coming home with my new girlfriend. Then the next year, Mom, I'm coming home with my new girlfriend.
Every year.
Every year. I mean, my friend, he was a big athlete, and he actually played professional. He played in a professional sport, professional basketball. And I've known him for years. And he was in college for 3 years. He had 6 girlfriends, one for probably each semester. Okay. So, and he came home. He used to tell his mom every semester for the holidays, for certain holidays, Easter or Christmas, he'd tell her, Mom, I'm coming home with my new girlfriend. And it's so funny. And they're all beautiful women, but I always told him. And then by the time the year was over, by the time he was done, and before he elected to go into the NBA draft, which he wasn't drafted. He was an undrafted player, but he got picked up by the Detroit Pistons. He played a couple of years with the Detroit Pistons. Never really played, but practice. He had a lot of girlfriends there too, including cheerleaders. So
he has his own Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, and college edition.
And he's still single as a businessman. So there you go. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a funny story because I always tell him, who are you dating now? All right. So here we go. I'm going to give you five women or 5 particular people. All right. I want you to tell me in order, who would you go out with first to last? You ready?
Got it.
All right. I'm going to try to get with new ones, so you probably know who they are. Okay.
Got it.
Number 1, Jessica Albers. Number 2, Reese Witherspoon. Number 3, Jennifer Aniston. Number 4, Halle Berry. Number 5, Patrick Swayze.
To be honest, I'll probably go with Halle Berry first. I forget everybody else. I'll just go with Halle Berry.
All right. Now we're really blood brothers, because Halle Berry has been my favorite since I was a little boy, man. I've been Halle Berry. Dude, I used to have Halle Berry posters all over my room. I was obsessed with her when I was a kid. Obsessed. Did you see her in her new bathing suit recently? Oh my God, man.
No, I didn't get a
Oh
chance.
my God. This woman is 50-something years old and she still looks good, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
I can't hold back on Halle Berry. I'd put her number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. But I think the number 2 person you pick is Patrick Swayze.
either her or Jessica Alberts. Yeah.
Well, Patrick Swayze is a him. Look at his face.
I thought it was a girl.
Just kidding.
Another one that needs a little expertise on 80s movies.
Dirty
I guess.
Dancing. Dirty Dancing. Remember Dirty Dancing? You ever see Dirty Dancing? Did we lose him again?
Again, another one we need to send a bunch of 80s films.
Well, we got to help him out.
Particularly some Patrick Swayze films.
We got to hook him up with some Patrick Swayze films because Roadhouse, love that movie. That's a great movie. I mean, there he is again. We got him again. There he is. So Patrick Swayze was in Dirty Dancing.
Never heard of Dirty Dancing before.
You never heard of Dirty Dancing? Oh my God, man! I'm gonna do you a favor. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna hook you up, man. I'm gonna send you the movie through a Dropbox, and I'm gonna let you have the opportunity to watch Dirty Dancing. I mean, that is a Speedy. You have his email address, right? Yep. So we'll get the movie and we'll Dropbox it to you.
Got it.
You definitely got to see. I mean, you got to sit down with you. Ask your mom what Dirty Dancing is. Okay, she'll tell you what Dirty Dancing is.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze is one of the most underrated actors of all time. No question. So may he rest in peace, by the way. So
those 2 through 5, we didn't hear that yet.
He said Halle Berry. I love him already.
Okay.
I love him already. Halle Berry, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Screw everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you, man. I got you. Well,
that's the first time that has come to the answer to the question.
Well, all he's got to do is come up with Halle Berry as number 1, and that's all he has to answer. When he said Halle Berry, I said, no, you don't have to answer anymore. Here we go. So I love her too, man. We got something in common over there. If we ever get a chance to meet her in person, I'll do more than just shake her hand. That's for sure. Anyways, before we let you go, man, I see that you have a picture of Kobe Bryant behind you.
Yeah, I'm in my mom's office. She's a huge Kobe Bryant fan.
Okay. And what was your mom's thoughts after she found out that Kobe Bryant's passing?
She was in tears. She was hurt for at least. I mean, she's still kind of hurt about it now, but she was hurt at least for a month. Like she was in tears, yeah, because she was born and raised in LA, so she's a huge Laker fan. She likes LeBron doing, but she's a huge Kobe Bryant fan, so she was in tears.
Well, yeah. I always loved. I've always had respect for LeBron James after this whole stuff that's going on with. I've heard throughout the league of what he said at that meeting for the social injustice. Lost a lot of respect for him. I did, but I think he's a fantastic player, no question. And what's going on right now in sports and everything like that, I'm totally behind some of the players on a lot of things that they're doing and how they're doing and how they're trying to show their feelings towards everything. But what LeBron James said and the derogatory things he said through the social injustice thing, I lost a lot of respect for him. Yeah, but. Kobe Bryant was even I wasn't a Kobe Bryant fan. I'll just let you know that. I just not. But a lot of people think I'm crazy when I tell them I put Kobe Bryant in my top 20, not my top 10. But that's just because.
Wow.
Yeah. Why? What do you say wow for? I mean, I just think Kobe Bryant was very overrated in a lot of ways.
Come on, Ty, fire back.
I might gotta leave now. I can't believe
fire back at him, Ty.
Well, I could talk all show and I can explain why I don't think he's in the top 10. But that would be a lot to say. But just think this: Kobe Bryant's game. Who do you compare it to?
Jordan.
So you can't compare. There is no comparison to Michael Jordan. So to even put Kobe Bryant in that top 10 echelon, you have to be something different.
Tim, the thing is, everybody wanted to be Jordan growing up back then.
Mm-hmm. And who was? We lost you. I think he's low right there. What happened to him?
Ty, did your camera freeze again?
It didn't freeze. I think he lost his sound over there. We lost your sound again, Ty. There you are. There you go. What was that again?
I said back then everybody wanted to be Jordan. So
here's what I say. Everybody tried to be Jordan, but they were never Jordan. So, but if you look at the top 10, if you're going to put somebody in the top 10, this is why I don't think Kobe Bryant is in the top 10. You want to pick players that changed the game. You know what I mean? That was
Kobe
different.
did.
No, but he didn't, because he was the same type of player as Michael Jordan. Here, I'll tell you guys that changed the game. Bill Russell, did he change the game?
I just never watched Bill Russell before.
Will Chamberlain, did he change the game?
Definitely.
Shaquille O'Neal, did he change the game?
For sure.
Okay. Tim Duncan, did he change the game?
He's so fundamental, but sure.
Change the game. Magic Johnson, did he change the game?
Yeah, for sure.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, did he change the game?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just giving you names right now that I would take over him. You know, Larry Bird, did he change the game?
The thing, okay, listen. The thing is,
I saw your mama. What's up with that?
My mom coming down. She heard. You can't do that.
Fix your lips to say that.
You can't do that. You can't talk about Kobe
Michael
like that.
Jordan coach. Shame on you.
Can't do that.
Hold on. Now, I never said Kobe wasn't a top 20 player. I'm just saying that Kobe wasn't in my top 10.
Not top 10.
That's not 10. How many? Hold on.
I do know Dirty Dancing. I know Dirty Dancing.
Oh, Mom. I love you already, Mom. I love you, Mom. I love you.
Not compared to Michael. Michael even said it. Shame
on you. Whoa.
Okay.
Michael's just trying to be nice. Michael Jordan always puts himself from here to everybody else over here. Michael Jordan never. Michael Jordan. I'm sorry?
Tom Brady does that too. All great athletes do that. They're supposed to.
I would say so, but when I look at my top 10 greatest players in each sport, I look at them to change the game. The guys that were different from everybody else. That's the only reason why. Kobe Bryant was like Michael Jordan. He was the closest thing to Michael Jordan, but he didn't change the game. Michael Jordan changed the game. He was the guy that brought that game. You know?
Era. Michael Jordan changed it in his era. LeBron changed it in his era.
Yes,
Everybody Tai Felton is going to change it in his era too.
He better, because when he gets drafted in the NFL, I better be invited to that little draft class over there.
I don't know. You're negative Kobe slander. You're not looking good right now.
My guy, may he rest in peace. But Kobe
Oh,
Bryant,
absolutely.
hey, put some respect on Kobe Bryant's name. Shame on you.
Mom, I have respect for Kobe Bryant. I was not a big fan of Kobe Bryant, but I know his greatness. He was a great player. I'm not going to say that he was.
You don't have to. Okay, but can you respect his numbers?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, be good. You don't have to like them, but you got to respect them numbers.
Okay, but I will tell you this. When you look at his numbers in the playoffs, were they that good?
They were okay. They were good enough.
I love you, Mom. Being honest is being honest.
Against the Celtics.
One question before I let you go. Who was the most important part of those 3 back-to-back championships with LA when Shaquille O'Neal was on a team? Be honest now.
Brian and Shaq.
Oh,
Kobe,
Mom.
The Pacers.
Mom.
When Shaq found out who stepped up, Kobe Bryant. Go look at it.
Shaq
came out of shape. Who stepped up? Kobe Bryant. Go look at it.
Mom.
It's an A and B. It took 2. It didn't take 1 like a relationship. It took 2, not 1.
Mom, who was the MVPs for all 3 of those championships?
Kobe Bryant and Shaq.
Oh, no. It was Shaq.
Tai Felton. God bless y'all. Have a good one.
I love Mom. She's great. You got a good mom.
Can't do that. Kobe Bryant, you just can't do that. I heard the steps. I'm like, oh, here she comes. You can't do that.
I love Mom, man. I love her passion, and there's nothing wrong with loving Kobe Bryant the way she does. I have nothing but my utmost respect for any Kobe Bryant lover and fan, because Kobe Bryant was a great player. But I look at the game, and when I look at all sports, and I compare and contrast the greatest of all time, I try to compare and contrast the guys that changed and revolutionized the game. And as good as Kobe Bryant was, and he was great, there was one Michael Jordan, and then there was Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? So LeBron James changed the game. You know what I mean? He's different. He changed the game. Magic Johnson changed the game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar changed the game. Bill Russell, Oscar Robertson. These guys changed the game. So that's the way I look at it. Not to say that Kobe Bryant wasn't as good as all those guys. Of course he was. His numbers would show that he was, but he didn't change the game. So that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So
you better stop criticizing him if you want to get invited to their draft party.
I was invited to a bunch of draft parties, but listen, Ty, I love you, man. I love that you're a Halle Berry fan. I love your mom. I love her passion. I love her sport. That's the great thing when it comes to sports. It's very hard to find both parents that love sports. And the fact that you have two parents that adore sports, that's a good thing,
Yeah, for sure.
And I respect your mom's passion. So Mom, I love you,
She's back upstairs. Kobe Bryant, one time I said I liked the Celtics and we had a hour-long argument and when I was younger, and I never liked the Celtics ever again. So
I don't like the Celtics too. So we have something else in common.
Yeah,
I'm a Knicks fan, man. I'm a Knicks fan. I come from New York, man. I can't stand it, even though my favorite player is on the Celtics, believe it or not, Kemba Walker. So I grew up I've known Kemba since the Bronx. I actually personally know Kemba Walker. So I've been trying to get him on the show, but every single organization he's played for, with the Charlotte Hornets. And now the Celtics, they will not let me interview him, during the season. So
he's trying to close out a series right now.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man. I think the Celtics will win that series.
Yeah,
I do.
Lakers
series. I don't want to see the Lakers win. I don't.
Yeah, you hate Kobe, no LA. Like, what's going on?
I'm a New York fan.
I'll tell you this: you better not sleep on the Nuggets, though. They're not going to be they're not going to be a walkover by any means. They are very, very deep and well coached.
Yeah, Jamal Murray's that dude, and the Joker. I really like them. What they did to the Clippers, that was just embarrassing. Kawhi and Pete got it.
Listen to you, man. You could be an analyst too. I mean, like, look at this guy. Ty, we found another position he can do after playing professional football right there. He could be an analyst or a broadcaster over here. Tai Felton. Well, guys, Kobe Bryant, he shot the three, but he'll
be an analyst for a sport he didn't play.
There you go, man. But I listen, man, I think you have a great personality. You have a great future. I'm looking forward to watching you play, man. You have a great family. It looks like you have great mom and dad and a great future, college future, and hopefully a professional future in the long run. So thank you for joining us. Tell the fans how they can find you on social media.
My Instagram is at Playboy Taishard, Playboy and then TAISHAR, and then that's
Playboy, huh?
Yeah, I've had that since like 8th grade. Just roll with it.
Mom, you hear that? Mom, you've seen Dirty Dancing. Your son's email address is Playboy over there. I mean,
yeah, she knows for sure.
Oh, she knows you're a Playboy, huh? So you're going to be coming home with a girlfriend every single semester. You're another Playboy, huh? I figured, I told you. So I bring up a story and it matches him out perfectly. Halle Berry. I mean, we've got a lot in common, my friend. So, anyways, we'll stay in touch, man. When the season starts for you, we would love to get you back on and talk a little Maryland football. I want to give a shout out to Jillian. She's the one who's reached out to you guys. She's been great and sweet and works hard, and we really appreciate all the hard work she does. So I'm sure you guys do too, because we really appreciate you joining us, my friend.
Yep. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Remember that bet?
I will, for sure. I'm gonna write down my
You're losing that, man.
phone. Yep, I got you.
Tell Mr. Wild the little bet we have.
Yeah, got you for sure.
Just remember, you tell him that you were on the show with us, and he'll tell you about the nice little interview we had in his car with his windshield wipers on. So
we had a bet for him too. I forget if it was with the fruit snacks or the Skittles.
I think it was the Skittles.
We had a bet for him too.
I had a bet with him too. He was the first quarterback that I made a bet with.
Mm-hmm.
So but you guys are great, man. You guys got great personalities, and we'll stay in touch, man. I'll be rooting for you. Did we lose you again? Hold on. We'll get him back. There you are. There you are. You hear us? Ty, you hear us?
It froze again.
Look at him. Don't worry, Ty. We got you, man.
It froze again. I didn't.
There you go, man. There we go. We got you back on, man. We'll let you go, man. It's late. We really appreciate you joining us. We'll be in touch, man. I wish you all the luck in the world. We'll get you on again. I want to get you back on.
Got you. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Tai Felton, ladies and gentlemen, and Mom. Mom was great, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I like his mom. She's got a good personality. What are you laughing at?
Yes, no, I agree with you. She was awesome.
I like his mom. His mom has a good personality. Definitely a Kobe Bryant fan, and she hates that I'm a Kobe Bryant hater. I'm not a Kobe Bryant hater, by the way.
Well, you better be less of one if you want to go to their draft party.
Well, oh well. Anyways, but may you rest in peace, by the way. Kobe Bryant was one of the greatest basketball players ever played the game. And there's no question that he was. And like I said, and I say it all the time, he will be missed. And he'll always be remembered as the other guy. And what I mean by that, the other Michael Jordan, the other type of player. When you want to compare and contrast the games, he was the closest thing. His game was the closest thing to Michael Jordan's. That's it for our show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week. We have 2 new shows joining us in the next week. We're going to have 2 fantasy shows. One that is going to be airing on Thursday and Friday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. An hour fantasy show with Dan Mader, which will be on Thursday and Friday. And we'll have a show with Dan Mader and his partner, Chris, playing at 9:30 p.m. every Saturday night. So that will be interesting as well. So looking forward to that. And we have other shows. We have a Blackout. We have the show called The Blackout joining us very soon. Snowman in the Morning, which we've been waiting for, will be joining us very soon. So
Maybe he's waiting for winter.
Maybe he is. Anyways, that's it for our show. We'll be back next week. Until then, this is Errol Marks and Speedy Petey. Oh, by the way, before we go, I'd like to thank Princeton wide receiver recruit Matthew Mahoney for joining us at 10:30, and a really special thanks to Maryland wide receiver recruit Tai Felton for joining us as well. Great kids. That's it for our show. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for all the guys that called our show. Snowman for calling the show. We will be back next week. Until then, this is Errol Marks and Speedy Petey saying good night. We'll talk to you then. Good night, everybody.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. As a volunteer, you deliver a hot, nutritious meal and a friendly hello to someone just like your mother,